Tonight, the stars and the cars from the All-Star Racing League take on the Michigan International Speedway for the Bryant Motorsports Auto Sales 300. So grab a snack, your favorite beverage, and strap yourself in because you have the best in online sim broadcasting coming your way next.
And we welcome you to DRL Network live coverage of the Bryant Motorsports Auto Sales 300 tonight from the Michigan International Speedway. Once again, paying a visit to our friends at the All-Star Racing League. Thanks to David Chin, Gary Mingus, and all the guys over at ASR for having us over this evening. We're thrilled to be here aboard this evening, live flag-to-flag coverage. 300 miles tonight around the Michigan International Speedway. The 2-mile D-shaped oval we all known. It's going to provide for some great open setup racing for us here tonight. And we're thrilled to have you here live on DRTV. Thank you out there, everybody in YouTube land, for watching this evening. My name is Phil LaCasse, along with Todd Stanton and Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, as always, in the DRTV control booth. And man, Todd, once again, we have to come back over to see our friends at the All-Star Racing League, and a great field of cars here on hand here tonight, and open setup racing at Michigan. I think we're going to be in for one fantastic show this evening.
Yeah, one of my favorite versions of Michigan Speedway is the Michigan NRT 400 version of Michigan Speedway. So it's interesting to see this version being used still to this date. It's a pretty old track, but very well used and now open setups. And just looking up and down on the qualifying board that's up on your screen, Devin Bliss right now has the fastest qualifying time with a 35.640. Nobody really in touch with him right now there, Phil.
No, not at all, but I'm assuming those are lap number one of the two-lap qualifying session. We'll see these times click off on the board live, just as you do. But currently, as Todd said, the 28 of Devin Bliss up on the board. Devin tonight out there in that Haviland Motor Oil machine, 35.640. That is a tremendously fast lap here at Michigan. 0.3 better on current second-place runner Wayne Hoke there in that number 8 machine, 35.911. Clocking in third quick, Walt Coburn, if I could talk here tonight, the 070, 35.917. He's going to make up that third starting spot, and not seeing any more times clicking here, Todd. I thought we'd see more as far as lap number 2 goes, but if this were to stand, Devin Bliss is going to shatter this field here tonight, winning the pole by almost 0.3 of a second. That is one fantastic feat.
Yeah, Devin Bliss putting up one well of a lap there with that 35.640. Qualifying coming to an end here, and it's going to expire with 1 second left on the clock. No, there's nothing left on the clock now. It looks like that's going to stand, Phil. A lot of guys opting not to take qualifying times here this evening.
A lot of guys, as you said, just going to keep those things pegged behind the wall. So it looks like we have, I believe, 27 drivers here on hand here tonight to take the green flag at the Michigan International Speedway. Rich Patton, once again, we come back over. Say hi to Gary and David and all the guys over here at the All-Star Racing League. You know, great league. They've been at it for a long time. 7 nights a week of racing, and tonight we get to feature the Gen 6 Cup cars and open setups here in Michigan. I think it's going to be one fantastic race here tonight. A long race, but I think we're going to see a good race.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. We've got a pretty decent-sized field here tonight at Michigan, 150 laps around here. It's going to be interesting to see how these guys do. Pit window is going to be 25 to 30 laps. Looks like they're running 2X with moderate damage. Interesting note is they are running open setups here tonight, so it's going to be interesting to see whose motors hold together, whose don't, and who's left here at the end of the night. So I'm looking forward to this event.
No, it's going to be one fantastic ride here tonight. Thanks to these guys for having us, the All-Star Racing Group League. I'm trying to pull up their website real quick to shout it out there, but I believe it's ASRacing2K3.net is how you get a hold of David, Gary, and all the guys over here at the All-Star Racing League. They said they run 7 nights a week, multiple different mods, different styles of racing. They do some open setups like we do here tonight. We're going to see some fixed setup racing over here. Lots of different mods. I know they run the CTS version of the Gen 6 also on a night. They even go back, Todd, and one of our favorite mods, the NCTS 09. They do that here as well at All-Star Racing League. So much great stuff here. 7 nights a week of racing. Look up these guys, David Shin, Gary Mingus. They're very active on their Facebook group. Find their Facebook, AS Racing. Great website, great league for these guys, and looking really forward to having these guys here aboard here tonight, live on DRTV. A second visit for us to see these guys over here, but 150 laps here at Michigan, Todd. It's going to be a long night. We could see some grinding up of equipment here. I mean, over this long race, we may see a lot of a lot of three-wide racing. I mean, open setup racing in Michigan, it's probably one of the more exciting things we see here through the years here on DRTV, and I think it's going to make some fantastic pictures for us here tonight, and I'm looking forward to see where this thing's going to take us.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where it's going to take us, what kind of open setups, what kind of different things are going on out there on the speedway. You know, Devin Bliss, and there's a bunch of other guys out there. I mean, your qualifying setup's going to differ from maybe your race setup. As Devin Bliss set fast time, but his race setup might be just a tad bit different. Watching these guys, they probably got their race setups loaded in. I almost can imagine that because they are in their happy hour session. So probably trying with their race setups here around the Michigan International Speedway, just trying to figure out what they're going to do during race trim there, maybe just to get those last minute adjustments in before the race here this evening.
No, absolutely right. See what these last-minute adjustments are going to be. But, you know, I'm blown away by that qualifying lap. Devin Bliss there turned in that number 28 machine. Let's see if we can't talk to Devin. No, he's a good guy. He's been around us a few times. Let's see if we can't talk to our pole sitter here tonight at the All-Star Racing League, this Bryant Motorsports 300. Devin Bliss, it's Phil from DRTV, my friend. You got a copy?
Sure do. How you doing?
Oh, we're doing fantastic, man. You must be doing great as well. Clocking in tonight, fast time. 35.640, almost winning the pole by 0.3 of a second, man. Tell us about that lap.
That was pretty exciting. I almost wrecked it in 3 and 4, so I could have gone faster, but I hit the apron.
Well, that's a tremendous lap indeed. Now, tell us, you guys are out there in happy hour now, Devin. How different is the race setup as far as what the qualifying setup? What kind of things do you guys tweak on the race cars from qualifying trim to race trim? Because, I mean, we got a lot of laps here tonight. What do you do behind the wheel there in the garage area to make these things last 300 miles here?
Just loosen them up just a little bit and take some tape off, obviously. And just run a little easier in the corners so you don't burn the tires up.
Well, Devin, 300 miles here. Going to start that number 28 Texaco Haviland machine from the pole. Just want to take a quick minute here to give you the microphone and say hello. Congratulations on your pole. And we got a long race ahead here, man. So good luck tonight. And I'm sure we'll talk to you again later on this evening. You got a fast hot rod.
Thank you.
All right, Devin Bliss, our pole sitter here tonight, Todd. But a lap like that, I believe he deserved a little bit of due there. Is winning, you know, anytime you go out there win the pole, that's a great thing. But to come out here in a strong field like this and almost blister the field by 0.3 of a second, that is one fantastic lap. And congratulations, Devin. And, you know, interesting now because I think you're going to see drafting come into play here over the course of a long run. So, well, with a change over from qualifying to race set here, Todd, do you expect he'll be able to drive away at that 2 to 3/10 a lap, or do you think the draft is going to keep these guys in tow all night long?
Well, the draft is going to keep those guys in tow, but you got to also remember qualifying setup. You put a little extra tape on there, get some downforce in there. You don't care how hot you get that motor, and these guys are actually trying to qualify their faster laps. So I don't see that Devin's got that type of setup in for a race trim unless you want to pop that motor. You got to make some adjustments so you can actually free that up. I almost am willing to bet you that he's not going to be able to run that fast during the race. He's going to run close time to that. I'm almost thinking probably 35/8 or somewhere in that general aspect of things there during normal race trim. If he's out there by himself, I do not see him running at 35/6 or maybe even a 35/5 that maybe he could have got when he touched that apron, and he said he could have run a little bit faster. But I think that's a qualifying setup. I think race setup wise, Phil, I really don't think you'll see him run that fast.
Well, so far, setting up the quick time so far at happy hour is we're about 6 minutes of a 10 they're going to run here for happy hour. Ken Smith, the 05, known as Stanley over here in the ASR group. Currently, your quick time here in happy hour, clocking at a 35.810. So that's, 2.5 off the pole speed there. So race setup, you can certainly see these guys going to slow down a little bit. Greg Artlip, the number 98, second quick here in happy hour, a 35.845. Chris Elliott clocking in third quick, 35.878. So those are the only guys touching the 8s here in happy hour. Todd Wilson had a great run last time we came over here. He's got a 35.924, currently fourth quick and running at your top 5. As far as happy hour speeds at this juncture, the 72, the Dinger, Wayne Medinger, 35.357. So it's certainly a very close top 5. It stretches all the way down to the 36.4. So you're looking about 0.6 of a second here, Todd, from first all the way back to about 23rd. So it's going to make for one really close race here at Michigan. I don't think anybody's going to be able to get away from this group.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to be able to get away. Pit stops may make these guys get away just a little bit, though, Phil. That's another thing we got to talk about. Pit stops, 2 tires versus 4 tires, maybe even a long green flag run. I'm not sure. I mean, you can make a setup not to eat the tires and maybe able to plug away. You have also maybe the setup to maybe just make sure that you have enough fuel. I mean, you could go longer in the fuel run. It's all about your gear ratios, different things like that. So you have a lot of things to play with, a lot of factors in this race. If you go green flag a long ways, you can see this field spread out quite a ways.
No, I think you're absolutely right. 300 miles here at Michigan. It's going to make for a long night here on DRTV, but it's going to make for a fantastic night of racing. If you'd like to get your league on DRTV, I mean, get in the big time here. If you're not on DRTV, you're not in the big time. DRLnetwork.com is the home base for DRTV. Check out the full schedule there available. So many great races coming up here in the next couple of months, all booked up and dates available now. Get your league on DRTV. Check about the broadcast rates. Very affordable. Custom fit to fit all your league's needs out there. No league too big or too small. So reserve your date now. Head over to DRLnetwork.com and get Todd, Rich, and if Joe's available, get the 4 of us over to your league as well, and we'll have a great time putting you guys in the spotlight and doing it up as only we do here on DRL Network each and every week. And thrilled to be back over here tonight to the All-Star Racing League. ASRacing2K3.net is the home to find David Shin, Gary Mingus, and all these great drivers that call the All-Star Racing League home. The Bryant Motorsports 300 for the Michigan International Speedway here. Todd, about to get this thing under the grid, but we're going to pause here for a couple seconds. We're going to pay tribute to our great land, the United States of America, and the playing of the national anthem. And the playing of the national anthem to get us started here live on the DRL network here this evening. The Bryant Motorsports Auto Sales 300 for the Michigan International Speedway. A great event we have here on hand. 27 drivers going to take the green flag for 150 laps. A long distance race here tonight. It's going to be a marathon here live on DRTV. So many great drivers over here, top to bottom of this group. Lots of heavy hitters that come over here, and pay dividends to these guys. 7 days a week they run over here. That's a tremendous feat for any league. They do a fantastic job and a lot of great races over here. And they say this is probably the most fun league anybody can come to race at. These guys all get along, all have a tremendous time. And I think we're going to see the proof of that here tonight. Is we're going to see some fantastic racing for the Michigan International Speedway with 27 drivers at the ready. They're about to strap these. We're going to strap ourselves in just with these guys. Get ready for a great night of racing here live on the DRL network. So let's throw it trackside for tonight's command. All right, sorry about that. A little premature there. Thought we were on the countdown there, but clicked off the wrong screen. Thought we were going there. So we're getting on the grid right now, Todd, as we speak. So I completely slaughtered that, but I'm sticking here, my friend. Save me a little bit. Let's get ready here and dive straight to the starting lineup.
Take a breath, folks.
And now the starting lineup for the Bryant Motorsports Auto Sales 300 live from the Michigan International Speedway. Starting on the pole, driving the number 28, that's Devin Bliss, and his dancing partner to the outside, driving the number 8, that's Wayne Hotch.
Rolling off from row number 2 aboard the 070 here tonight, that is Walt Coburn, and to his outside in the number 98, that is Greg Artlett.
Next row back, Connor Mertz in the number 24, and outside of him, that's the Iceman driving the 124. That's Alan Ebert.
Rolling off tonight for row number 4 aboard the 37. That is Denny Daniels to his outside, the Dinger, Wayne Madinger. But now let's throw it trackside.
Drivers, start those engines!
Next row back, starting inside row number 5 in that 9 starting position, driving the 07. That's Bobby Stevenson, and outside of him, driving the 00.
Rolling off tonight from position number 11 aboard the 439. That is Todd Wilson, and to his outside aboard the number 2 rocket ship aboard that Perina, the Naito tire number 2. That is Matt Ebert.
Next row back, starting in that 13th starting position, driving the number 15. That's Alphonse in that number 15, and David Chinton starts in 14th in that number 88.
Kara Ragucci is going to roll off next tonight aboard the 013. He'll roll off 15th. And to the outside aboard the car number 9, that is Chris Elliott.
Next row back, starting in that 17th starting position, driving the 04. That's Don Dolster, and outside of him, driving the number 20. That's Leo Kelly.
Rolling off tonight from the number 19 position will be the driver of car number 81, the Bryant Motorsports Auto Sales number 81. That is Don Bergen. And to his outside aboard the number 20, our friend from the AS Racing League, that is Gary Mingus.
Starting in that 21st starting position, driving the number 05, that's Ken Smith. And outside of him, driving the 416, that's Autry Waits in that 416. Sorry, my lineup just a little bit difficult here this evening.
We go with 2 for here with Arnold giving us a command here tonight here in Michigan. Rolling off deep in the field tonight aboard car number 66. And welcome back to DRTV. Our old friend DP, Darryl Pace in the 66, and rolling off to his outside aboard the 92. That is Ed Vaughn. No, certainly right. The field on the back stretch. The lights are out atop of DRTV Pace fans. So that's going to turn the field over to our pole sitter, the number 28 of Devin Bliss, that Texaco Haviland machine, to his outside in the number 8 Monster Energy Drink machine. That is Wayne Hoke there, coached in the number 8 machine, rolling off row 2. Walt Coburn, Greg Artlett going to roll off there from position number 3 and 4. So we await green flag racing here. Todd, I believe we got you back on the horn. I believe we didn't have you there for that last command.
No, indeed not. So many buttons, so little time, and I just put so many buttons together, and I was hitting the wrong button. I just realized I wasn't hitting the live button. I apologize to that. Now you can hear my wonderful voice. We're getting ready to go green flag racing here out of number 4, the Pace van, taking that hard left-hand turn down. We're getting ready for these guys to push their loud pedal down. Waiting on the flagger to throw that green flag. It's a long wait. Green flag is in there. Devin Bliss. Look at that start for that number 28 machine. And he's got all kinds of power there, but he's diving down just a little bit. Here comes Colbert in that 070. He's got a well overrun. The number 8 fighting back on the outside. That's Wayne Hoach in that number 8 machine on the top side of the speedway, trying to battle side by side here. Metz in the number 24. He's running that 4 spot, but it looks like Bliss is just leaving him. He's checking out off into the sunset there, Phil, and he's going to make me eat my words. His yellow flag now out on the speedway already here at the Michigan International Speedway.
Yeah, and multiple car wreck, it looks like, through turns number 3 and 4. And I'm seeing multiple cars around. I'm seeing Don Bergen around. Ken Smith is around in the 05. I think Don Dolson also the 04. Got a big piece of that as well. So yellow flag now for the first time this evening, right in the opening lap here, Todd. And, you know, it's moderate damage here in Michigan, but we're turning high speeds. These guys telling me in the draft you may see up in excess of 200 miles an hour. So when you make contact with anybody at that tremendous rate of speed, you're going to damage your race car. It can make for an awfully long night here at Michigan.
Definitely can make for an awful long night. I'm just looking at some of these guys, and I tell you what, Phil, Bliss was starting to make me eat my words, and Bliss has got one whale to set up underneath him, and he had a good qualifying setup, and if his race trim is anything like that qualifying setup, he's going to really make me eat my words all night long. But I'm going to throw it on to Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, who's already ready with the replay here. Our first DRTV replay. What happened, Rich?
Yeah, tough break for Don Dolson in the 04. We're going to keep our eyes on him. Looks like two other cars involved, the 81 and the 05. As we get to them, you'll see them on the screen. We'll go in slow motion. Looks like Dolson's getting a little bit loose coming out of the corner. Jumps on the brakes right there. You see a puff of smoke. He comes back across the track in front of the 81 up against the wall. That's going to send both the 04 and the 81 into the wash cycle. The 05 gets tangled up into the 04 as well. That's going to send all three of them into the spin cycle. And everybody else looks like they're able to get around them. So it looks like possibly the 04 and the 05 are the only ones that took some hard hits into the wall. 81's probably going to have to replace some flat spotted tires along with those other two. They should be able to get back into this thing, guys. Remember, it's moderate damage. Back up to you.
Yeah, it's moderate damage, but, even being moderate damage in a place like Michigan, Todd, it is so aero sensitive, and, it made me some minor damage to these guys, but, as dependent as these things get aerodynamically, I don't think there's any racetrack out there more than Michigan at these high speeds that can completely ruin your night, with maybe the exception of the restrictor plate tracks being Daytona and Talladega. But handling becomes so crucial at Michigan. Any damage to the nose or the tail, it can certainly ruin your night in a hurry.
Yeah, definitely can ruin your night in a hurry, like you guys are saying, and you just gotta realize what's going to happen is you're going to have to make your setup you're going to have to tighten your setup probably if you get some rear end damage, because it's going to make it really, really loose. You're going to have to tighten up your setup, and when you tighten up your setup, other bad things happen to your car. It causes extreme tire wear, different things. You have to change your entry to the corner, and not only that, the downforce is pretty much gone on your car, so it's going to make for a long night. You're going to have a long road to hoe out there on the speedway to try to get back up to the front, and that's if your car is worth a darn.
Now, if you're these guys, Devin Bliss, Todd, has a fast hot rod. We'll touch on him here a little bit, but if you're guys that are mid-pack, say you're Matt Ebert who started mid-pack, say you're David Shin starting back there, or you got the likes of Gary Mingus, Mike Ireland, fast drivers we know that are going to be mid-pack. What's your strategy going to be here, knowing it's 150 laps? It is a long race. It is an endurance race. Are you going to be prone to maybe put that thing to the floor and probably try to drive your way to the front, or you're going to conserve that thing? Because like we said, aerodynamics and being so dependent here tonight, it's going to be out, just managing your car. So what do you think you're going to do if you're mid-pack? You're going to try to go forward, or you're going to lay there log laps and survive this thing for a little while?
Well, a lot of times I'm last minute Todd. Of course, everybody knows that here at DRTV. But a lot of times I'm jumping into a server and with a setup, and I don't know much about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out here mid pack. Let's say I am starting mid pack if I'm not good to start mid pack. If it's open setup, probably not. But we're just going to say that for just whatever reason. And I'm going to come out there and I'm going to make my way to the front and try to see what the setup's got. First off the bat, and this is from my viewpoint because I'm coming in here late. But you come up, see what the setup's got, and then probably I'm going to lay back and see let the event unfold. I'm not going to make any challenges until later in the event. I'm going to try to log some laps. It's 300 miles, 150 laps around the Michigan International Speedway. I do not want to get my car tore up, except for the first initial part. I want to see what the setup's got. Maybe just to see how fast I can get to the front. If I can't get to the front that fast, I guess I just wait and see what happens, and maybe just keep tweaking on my setup a little bit throughout the event. A lot of these guys probably have their setup already tweaked to where they wanted to until maybe a caution flag, maybe later on in the going, where they throw an extra bunch of grill tape on there and use the downforce where the motor's not going to matter if it does expire 5 laps to go. That's something that you would do or you would see a lot of these guys do.
Rich, I'm going to ask you the same question. If you concur with Todd on all that, since the lights are still on the van here, we have a minute to go back amongst ourselves. But what do you think there? If you're mid-pack, you're going to manage that setup and survive your race car? Or are you going to, even if you got a good set, because let's face it, open setups, these guys have spent a lot of time massaging. Are you prone to want to drive that thing forward and maybe lead laps in this thing? What do you think you would do out there?
I think it's a long race. I think these guys, the guys that are going to be here at the end are going to be a little bit patient early on. There's no reason to try to get to the front and lead everything. You can't win it on the first lap. I personally, if it was me and being an open setup, I would probably just kind of ride around in the back, feel my car out, see how it's going to do, hopefully get a long run, and see how the car is responding to the long run. And if then I need to make an adjustment, so I get the adjustments out of the way early enough to figure out where I'm going to be towards the end of the night.
I think that's a good idea as well. Managing the equipment, something I like to do there when I go out there and race on the racetrack, and find out over the years that can serve you well, but that can put you back there on that hornet's nest there, Todd. You may get back in traffic around other cars who may not have a good a setup as you do, and that dirty air back there can make these things ill handling. So, it's certainly each driver their own at this point.
Yeah, pretty much every driver is gonna race their own race, and some of them are more aggressive than others. There's a lot of things that these drivers can do, different things, different strategies that they can do. But every driver is going to be doing a different kind of adjustments, different kind of things. Maybe they want to be a little bit more aggressive. Some drivers just want to be, a little bit safety. But we'll have to see what's going to happen here. This green flag's getting ready to come back out. This pace van now into turn 3 and in the middle of 3 and 4. We're getting ready to come down through here, and this pace van getting ready to pull off here for the second time here this evening at the Michigan International Speedway. You are watching DRTV and the Bryant Motorsports Auto Sales 300. The best in online sim broadcasting TV is DRTV. Get ready to go back to green flag racing here. To Michigan International Speedway, it's Bliss leading them. Let's see what kind of jump he gets out to this time. Is green flag, we're just waiting on that flagger. And the flagger is still, the green flag is now in the air. Boy, you could hear him rev that motor right up into there. And then all of a sudden he shifts it right in the second gear. It kind of bogs down and it takes off. Just like lightning out of the gate as Walt Colburn is right there in that second spot, but the corner entry, just with that number 28, we're just watching him here coming through the corner and off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway, and he's just pulling Walt. Poor Walt right there, just watching Bliss just fly away, basically.
And yellow flag is out on the speedway as the field hits turn number 3. Looking to see what's going on there, seeing a lot of cars slow, not seeing anybody pointing in the wrong direction, but looks like were these guys so far behind. Definitely something going completely amiss on here, but we're going to be under yellow here so soon. Second time here tonight, 7 laps of 150. So I hope we don't have to page Dr. Green here so early, but I certainly would love to see some green flag racing. Michigan always provides for some great pictures here anytime on DRTV, but looking like something going on the racetrack. Looks like around the number 20 machine of Leo Kelly. Is that right, Rich Patton? I believe you're ready with the replay, or you may be there. All right, you're ready now. Go for it.
Yeah, we're going to keep our eyes on the 20 of Leo Kelly. It looks like might have had a little bit of a bump and help coming off the corners as we play this out. Looks like the 15 is going to get into him a little bit right there. That's going to send him a little offsides. He's going to get sideways, take it down towards the inside. Everybody else is able to get around him, but that's definitely going to flat spot some tires as he's trying to get that car pointed in the right direction to slow that spin cycle down. But he doesn't bounce it off of anything, just flat spotted some tires, and then he's going to get back into this thing. So no real major damage, but another caution early in the race. Back to you guys.
Yeah, another caution, as you said. 7 laps in, 2 cautions, 150 laps, 300 miles at the Michigan International Speedway here tonight. So it's going to be a long race, but we're going to let these guys get all sorted out there. We're going to pause here for a quick break on the DRL Network. These guys at AS, All-Star Racing League, have provided us with a couple of commercials, and we're going to play one for you here right now. So we'll be right back.
Looking for a quality used car? Do you have a driver's license, insurance, and a down payment? Bryant Motorsports will get you in a car guaranteed. Bryant Motorsports has in-house financing for everyone. No credit check, no employment check. Monthly payments as low as $200 and down payments as low as $500. Hurry now because there's only funding for 30 deals this month. Go to BryantMotorsportsAutoSales.com to see the entire inventory of quality used cars. Bryant Motorsports Auto Sales, locally owned and operated on High Street in the heart of Portsmouth.
All right, back here live on the DRL Network. Thanks to all the guys over here at the All-Star Racing League providing us here with a couple commercial breaks. Allows us to take a quick drink, reset ourselves here as we got a long night ahead of us here. An endurance race, if you will, on DRTV this evening. 300 miles here at the Michigan International Speedway. It's a 75% race for anybody that does the math out there. It's going to make for a long night here at Michigan. But I think we're going to see some great racing here, Todd, when these guys get all settled in, let these setups come in, the tires come in. I think you're going to see these guys racing all over this racetrack. And if, memory serves, we came, here for the first time to All-Star Racing League a couple of months ago, and I believe we were at the Daytona International Speedway. We saw a great race there. I believe there with some early caution flags, but these guys put one whale of a show on later on in the race. So I'm going to expect the same here today. I'm going to have a feeling we're going to get a little bit of a elongated green flag run here soon, and we're going to see what the racing here at the All-Star Racing League is all about.
Yeah, we'll get a long green flag run. I have no doubt in my mind that these guys will get it right the right way, and they're just testing out their setups. Maybe some of these guys are like last minute Todd here and getting out there for the first time on their setups, or maybe they got a setup from somebody that they thought was just a little bit better, and they're gonna try it out and shake out all the demons that are inside of maybe that setup itself. So we're gonna have to wait and see some of these guys coming to the front. Maybe somebody can contend with Devin Bliss. You know, we've seen 2 restarts. Devin Bliss has just manhandled both of those restarts, and he's got one whale of a setup underneath him, and he's driving it with like kind of like a lights out ordeal for Devin Bliss. As he's just trying to drive off in the sunset, and I think you get a long green flag run. That's what he's going to do, unless somebody has a setup underneath him that maybe comes in later in this run.
Now, thinking to the point of open setups here, Todd, I know you go out there, you massage these sets all night long in practice, but thinking about that for a second, you're going out there basically doing, you're hoping not to be doing single car runs, but you're kind of concentrating on your car out there as far as the handling and how it's going to perform over the course of a long run. But sometimes, you don't take into account riding around 20, with a pack of 25 different cars around you, all that dirty air. And sometimes, Todd, that completely adversely affects your setup being around, other cars with that dirty air.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna make your setup just a little bit different in dirty air. It's gonna change. A car that's gonna be fast out front like Devin Bliss, and maybe he's back 5th or 6th. His setup may be extremely tight back there. There's a lot of unanswers sometimes. If you don't have a lot of people to test and tune with and make a setup with, you really don't know what's going to play into the factor of maybe even the draft, or maybe a 3-car draft is different than a 2-car draft or a 4-car.
flag. And it's too bad for these guys here too, especially for out there for Devin having a tough time. Looks like Don Dolson Todd also lost a clutch aboard the 04 machine, so looks like his night is going to be done as well. So going to leave 25 of our 27 starters left onto the racetrack, and 23 of those drivers going to be on the lead lap, with still so much racing here left to go outside of 125 laps to go. So much racing to do, and this race may take a lot of twists and turns. It certainly has here through these first 20 laps.
Yeah, it certainly has. Took a lot of twists and turns through these first 22 laps on the speedway, and have to wait and see. Like Harry Codian is sitting in that second spot, and he's doing a fairly good job there coming up through the field. That's one of those guys that qualified a little bit further back. Todd Wilson, that's a guy that we didn't mention a lot about here. He's in third, but the scape did change with Devin Bliss out of this event. A lot of guys were pretty close in time. Devin Bliss was the guy that had the setup to beat here, I believe, at the Michigan International Speedway, but now I think it's wide open for a lot of these guys out in the Speedway. Just looking through the field, I'm looking at the 124 of Alan Ebert, heavy rear end damage on the 124 machine. I'm just looking at some of these cars. There's a lot of damage out there on the Speedway, a lot of damaged cars, rear ends bashed in just a little bit, but a lot of these guys out there getting the repairs and getting it done there, Phil.
Yeah, and as we talked about here earlier, damage at Michigan can certainly make for a long, long, long night, in any kind of, contact with these race cars. So vital here as the aerodynamics are anytime you come to Michigan. So we parade another lap now around the DRTV Pace Fan, but the home base for DRL Network, DRLnetwork.com is the home of DRTV. Check out the full event schedule. A lot of great races coming up. The big highlight for me here next Saturday night, we make a return trip to the SMO Hardcore Group, the Race for the Cure, the 9th annual Race for the Cure from the Blue Ridge Speedway next Saturday night, April the 15th. Cannot wait to go back to SMO, see Jamie and Pete and all the gang over there. Of course, our good friend Bob Tompkins, who's been so supportive of us on DRTV over the years. So looking forward to that. So, by far my favorite race we do here year after year. The Race for the Cure at SMO, Todd, next week on Saturday night. And if you'd like to donate to the Relay for Life cause, because let's face it, cancer has touched every one of us at one point or another in our lives. The Relay for Life link located on DRLnetwork.com. If you'd like to make a donation, every little bit goes a long way, and we appreciate all the support out there. But, Rich, let's turn our attention back to right now here tonight. Believe you got everything squared away down there, and believe you got the replay queued up for us.
Yeah, we're slowly working on it. Let me get an edit here. Sorry about that a little bit. We're going to go ahead and play this through. Keep our eyes on the 28 of Devin Bliss. He was the man of the hour earlier, but gets a little bit of contact, gets loose right there, gets a little bit of a bump. He tries to hang on to it. That's going to send him sideways right in the corner, right in front of another car. That's going to be Ebert, tags him, or he actually tags Ebert. 28's going to go up against the wall. Meanwhile, ahead of him, Ebert goes for a spin cycle. Everybody else is kind of scattered around the track trying to get around him. As you can see, all the smoke. Ebert's facing the wrong direction. Also, the 2's facing the wrong direction. 2 gets another hit by Devin. Ebert goes up on its side as well. Let's flip the cameras back there and watch what's happening with these guys, because they are completely flipping around everywhere. All kinds of chaos for these guys as well. So the 2, the 124, it looks like, and the 28 all involved, guys. Back up to you.
Yeah, and when you say likes of Matt Ebert, Alan Ebert, we know Todd for years and years. He's always fast. And Devin Bliss, who blew away the field in the qualifying. That is 3 heavy hitters. The 28 looks like out for the evening, and heavy damage to both the Ebert machines, Matt and Alan. So that's 3 heavy hitters of our All-Star Racing Group. So the complexion of this race has certainly changed, and looks like, the fastest car on the speedway here tonight by 3/10 in qualifying. Devin Bliss, he went from the catbird seat to the outhouse, going to finish up here tonight 27th. It just shows you these races can change in a hurry.
Yeah, races can definitely change in a hurry. A lot of these guys getting ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. We are on the back straightaway here, the Michigan International Speedway. Again, the Bryant Motorsports Auto Sales 300 here from the All-Star Racing Group, and it's going to be interesting to see. Like we said, the momentum, the tides have kind of changed with Devin Bliss being out. Whose race is it going to be here this evening? Walt Coburn has been the man to answer the call so far in that 070 machine, but Harry Codian. And then number 13, he is running in that second spot. Can he make a move on that 070 machine? We need a green flag run here to see what's going to happen. Is this pace fan getting ready to make that hard left-hand turn once again down the pit road? It's going to Coburn, Cody Annie, and then Todd Wilson. Now 439, he is running in that third spot. Number 24 to number 98, round out your top 5. We're getting ready to go back to green flag racing here down the front straightaway, waiting on that flagger to throw that green silk. Green silk is in the air. We're back to green flag racing, and the 070 almost hits the outside wall. Looks like a little bit of tire spin on Walt Coburn. He almost hit that wall on the front straightaway. He gets it going, though, down into turn number 1 with Harry Codian still running in that second spot in the number 13 machine.
Yeah, the race for third here through turns number 1 and 2. Greg Artlip, that number 98, he got a tremendous restart. As guys spun their tires, he was able to put that thing in second gear and just take off, and that's propelled him alongside that, the Walt machine, the 439 of Todd Wilson. That's the race for third. Looks like Artlip's going to win that battle. He's going to set his sights forward on that second spot, which is Harry Codian, who's now found his way to the inside of Walt Coburn. Lap car there trapped on the inside as well, but that's racing to the lead off of turn 4.
Yellow flag is out once again here at the Michigan International Speedway. And I'm going to page Dr. Green here to the Michigan International Speedway. We need Dr. Green here for some elixir. For this yellow fever, we have a lot of yellow fever going on here at Michigan International Speedway. Hopefully, Dr. Green can correct it here tonight with his elixir there, Phil. He's failed us in the past, though, so we're going to have to wait and see if he can actually deliver this elixir to the yellow fever, and hopefully we can get that righted.
No, and absolutely right. We've paid Dr. Green here a lot. Recent times it feels like, and as you said, he has failed us some. So trying to give Rich the benefit here of what may have happened to bring out the yellow flag here. We got cameras all over this place trying to find, exactly where the contact was. Did not see anybody rolling away slow, so not sure if this may have been just a phantom debris caution, seeing nothing amiss all over this big 2-mile track. Is, 3 of us up here and all the cameras, got it all sighted, but not seeing anything as far as issues out on the racetrack. So looks like, Todd, one of those phantom things. If we've not had enough yellow fever here tonight, it looks like Jacques Debris has once again aired his ugly head here on DRTV and going to put us under caution flag now for the 6th time here tonight.
Yeah, Jacques Debris, and did he have any of his kids out there tonight? There, Phil, is I've heard that saying before with the kids. Is there's many different pieces of debris maybe to bring out one of these phantom yellows, and I've seen absolutely nothing out there on the speedway. Maybe a piece, like you said, Jacques Debris out there. It's got to be something. So we're not sure, as we are on lap 27 of 150 right now, and we're just waiting to see what actually brought out this yellow flag, and I think it's just a phantom one, as Coburn is still out there in your current race lead with Cody Ann sitting in that second spot. Third is Greg Artlip in that number 98 machine. 439, Todd Wilson. He is running fourth. Fifth is Denny Daniels. Denny Daniels up to that fifth spot in the number 37 machine. We haven't heard much from him here tonight, Phil, but Denny Daniels now inside the top 5.
If there's a guy to keep an eye on here as this race goes forward, Denny Daniels at Safe Flight Auto Glass, number 37. He is a tough customer. Anytime you get to open setup racing and see that number 37 machine roll to the pit area, you know it's game on here tonight. At 37, Denny Daniels, he's been in this sim for a long time. Certainly one of the heavy hitters. But you look up and down this field here tonight, you get the likes of, Chris Elliott's out there as well. He's a big heavy hitter. Don't count, Walt Coburn, Harry Codian. Those are guys that have won races here at All-Star Racing League. So these races can be certainly won from anywhere. This is a star-studded field from top to bottom here. 27 cars taking the green flag here tonight, slowed by 6 caution flags. Certainly not indicative of all the great racing these guys do at the All-Star Racing League. AS Racing 2K3.net is the home base for this group. 7 nights a week of racing. Multiple different mods, different types of styles of racing, open setup, fixed setup. They do a little bit of everything here, about the All-Star Racing League. So check these guys out. David Shin, Gary Mingus, Nelson Rodriguez, all the guys over here at the All-Star Racing League do such a tremendous job, and we're thrilled to have this great event for you here tonight, live on the airwaves. The Bryant Motorsports 300. We had a little bit of technical difficulty here a little while ago. That seems to all be sorted out here now. Things looking all great on our end, and it should be clear sailing here for the rest of the night on DRTV. 28 of 150 on the board, so a lot of racing here left to go here, Todd. We've not seen any type of green flag racing to give, any indication of who's got the better setup here tonight. So it seems like we've been out here, 40 minutes, into the race here, 30 laps on the board. At this point in the game with so many laps to go, we can't click. We can't even make a prediction here. What we see through these middle stages, we just haven't seen enough green flag laps.
Yeah, we haven't saw a lot of green flag laps to see what these guys setups do in a long race. We got a lot of chat box questions going on out there. This is NASCAR Racing 2003. It's a simulation game here. We're not doing iRacing here this evening. We have done and dabbled in iRacing, but I know there's a lot of questions out there. Everybody's just willing to answer there. But it is NASCAR Racing Season 2003 that we're broadcasting here this evening, and a lot of different things. This is the All-Star Racing League. A lot of guys wanting to know what league this is. This is the All-Star Racing League. I know Phil's got the address out there, or address that he knows right by heart, and I think it's ASR Racing 2K3.net. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Phil.
ASRacing2K3.net, Todd, the proper address to find these guys.
And so a lot of guys out there, questioning out there in the chat box, just wanting to get this right here. For the guys out in the chat box, you can, like he said, you can actually view them there at ASRacing2K3.net. You can follow that web link, and if you want to sign up with these guys, a great bunch of guys over here, just having a little bit of trouble with yellow fever here early on in the going. Lights are atop the DRTV pace fan. We're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing, and hopefully Dr. Green has got that elixir already inserted there, Phil, and we're ready to go for a long green flag run.
I'm hoping that's in the cards as well, because I want to see what this twists and turns at Michigan. One of our favorite tracks to do over the years, and we've seen great racing here before, and I'm certain we're going to see, a lot of the same here as these guys get further and further, into this race here with DRL Network live coverage. The restart leader, the 070 of Walt Coburn, is going to lead the field back to green. Harry Codian, Greg Artlip, Todd Wilson, Denny Daniels going to currently run at your top 5, 6 through 10. Chris Elliott, Wayne Medinger, Carl Ragucci, David Chin, and Alan Alphonse are the number 15. That's currently your top 10. Alan Ebert is 11th. Matt Ebert is 12th. Bobby Stevenson 13th. Ed Vaughn is 14th. And Wayne Hawk there, the number 8. He's currently 15th. Connor Mentz, the 24, is currently 16th. 17th, we find the number 00 of Mike Ireland. Autry Waits is 18th. Leo Kelly aboard the number 20, currently running 19th in the slingshot. Gary Mingus, he's going to run at your top 20, Todd, as we await the restart.
As we await the restart, getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Pace fan dives down left, down to Michigan International Speedway's pit road. Long pit road for that pace car, so hopefully he's going to go down there and park for a while. Walt Coburn is out there with the lead, getting ready for the green flag. The loud pedal is down. Walt Coburn out to the advantage here in that 070 machine. Does a little bit better of a job. Does not spin his tires. Almost up next to that wall there, though, by Harry Codian. Right there in that second spot. He's right there in the tire track. Not letting that 070 machine get away. Can Codian get a run coming off of corner number 2 down the back straightaway here as we just entered the back straightaway. Codian got one wet little run. Where is he going to go in that number 13 machine right now? Sucked up right behind Coburn in that number 070 machine. So we're going to wait into turn number 3. And now Harry Codian still running in that second spot. I think he's going to make a pass here coming out of 4, Phil.
He's going to peek to the low side. Can't quite find running room there as Coburn slams the door. Codian's going to follow him to the low side. That's racing for the lead, but race for the third spot. The 439 of Todd Wilson to the low side. Greg Artlip to 98. He's going to be dropped, kicked up high. Move that number 439. Todd and Todd show here tonight on DRTV. Todd Wilson up to that third spot.
Yeah, Todd Wilson indeed in the third spot. As we've seen Todd Wilson and Art able to switch those positions here time and time again. Now we got a race battle for the lead as now the Codian machine down to the bottom side and a 2 for deal for the 439 of Todd Wilson. Wilson now to the second spot. Harry Codian to the lead. Drop kick. The Walt Coburn back to that third spot in that 070 machine.
Yeah, he's right there, keep an eye on that 37 of Denny Daniels up on that high lane. He keeps switching, lanes there, trying to find running him around. He's going to peek back to the low side. Coburn, that white 70 machine slides up high. Here comes Denny Daniels, a little bit of door checking down the backstretch. That's great racing side by side for third in the turn 3.
Denny Daniels going to outspeed him to the corner here, corner number 3. That's Denny Daniels now into the third spot. Now put Coburn in that 070 machine back to, and now 5th. as the number 9 of Chris Elliott moved up to that 4th spot. Now peeking down to the bottom side, trying to get around Denny Daniels in that 37 machine, coming down into turn number 1, not going to be able to do so. But look at Chris Elliott, way up top, a way different groove than most of these guys. He's running way up top on the speedway here at the Michigan International Speedway, trying to find something different in that number 9 machine. Is he going to use a little bit of that momentum down the back straightaway here to close the gap between himself and the 37 of Denny Daniels?
Yeah, Chris Elliott had a tremendous restart there. He restarted, I think, 6th or 7th, and now he's worked his way up the 4th at Doritos machine. That is a beautifully prepared number 9, and looking at Doritos on that car kind of makes you hungry here as we hit 34 laps of 150 on the board. Chasing our race leader, Harry Codian, that number 13, pacing the field. The 439 of Todd Wilson has slipped into position number 2. Denny Daniels, Chris Elliott, and Wayne Medinger, the dinger out there in that number 72 Chevrolet, that Molson machine. He's right there in position number 5. Looks like all stretched out single file here, Todd. 9-car breakaway at the front of the field.
As we're getting ready to come up and complete lap number 35 of 150. Now we got a battle for the 5th spot there. The number 88 machine of David Chin down to the bottom side, and there's actually a battle for that 6th spot is the 88 of David Chin, trying to get around the 070 machine of Colburn, not able to do so there this time by, but now dives down to the bottom side here into turns 1 and 2, off of turn number 2. David Chin to that 6th spot in that number 88 machine.
Yeah, put old DC up there, that Bryant Motorsports Auto Sales machine. Put him now, as you said, to position number 6 is that David Chin machine. But now a race for the lead, Todd, through 3 and 4.
Yeah, there was a race for the lead through 3 and 4. Off of turn number 4, Cody Ann still with the lead in that number 13 machine. The 439 of Todd Wilson, he is running in that 2nd spot. He was down underneath him momentarily, not able to complete the pass. Can he outbrake him, outmaneuver him down here into turn number 1? Not going to be able to do so, but there's a beautiful race for 3rd, Phil.
Yeah, Chris Elliott was able to move to the low side to turn 1. He slid up the racetrack just a little bit through the middle of the corner. Almost allowed Denny Daniels to pull the high lane switch, but, Chris is able to make that run stick in the high lane, as we've seen him do. Move the 9 car down to position number 3, but he's going to look to move forward one more, Todd. The 9 machine peeking to the low side of that Todd Wilson machine. Falls back in line, but I think it's going to be just about a half a corner or so. We may see a race here for that 2nd spot as they hit turn 1.
Yeah, you may even see a 2-for deal. As fast as Chris Elliott is going here right now, I think he might be able to pull some kind of slingshot maneuver to get around maybe Todd Wilson and the 13 of Harry Codian. We're just going to have to wait and see here as he's building up that momentum. Now Chris Elliott down to the bottom side of Todd Wilson, maybe going to be able to pull off a 2-for. No, not going to be able to do the 2-for, but maybe to 2nd place and maybe able to mount a charge here coming down the front straightaway on your current race leader, Harry Codian, as now Chris Elliott to that 2nd spot, the 439 of Todd Wilson to 3rd. Now a battle for that 4th spot, Phil.
Yeah, that make that a battle for the 3rd spot there as Wayne Medinger was able to make his way around the Denny Daniels machine on the low side. Now it looks like he'll pick off one more. He's around the 439, so here comes the dinger on the move, that 72-ton up to P3, but now a race for the race lead as they hit turn 3.
Yeah, Chris Elliott was down on the bottom side here momentarily in that number 9 machine. He's trying to get around Harry Codian, but he backs off wisely just a little bit, trying to use a little bit more momentum from this draft in that number 9 machine. Now down the front straightaway, closes up to his rear bumper just a little bit. Get away, Medinger in that number 72 machine also right there, so he's going to have to play a little bit of offense and defense. Is Chris Elliott in that number 9 machine, not jumping on the line quite yet. Down through 1 and off of corner number 2, down the back straightaway. Chris Elliott still in that 2nd spot and bounces it off the outside wall, and that's what Medinger wanted. Now Medinger to that 2nd spot, as now Elliott going to drop back to 3rd, and I'm sure he's got a pancake right side in that number 9 machine.
Yeah, he certainly does. That 72 now going to move along the outside. Not sure is he going to clear him there off of turn number 4. Looks like he will. He'll fall back in line there, so Elliott now back to 3rd. The 72 now up to that runner-up spot, but a great race there, Todd, for position number 4. Denny Daniels the 37, the 439 of Todd Wilson. They've been switching positions here lap after lap, and this time around as they exit 2, give the advantage to that number 37 as they hit the backstretch.
Yeah, Denny Daniels still running in that 4th spot. Pretty solid event so far for Denny Daniels. David Chin now moves into 5th, and that number 88 machine, as he's now around the 439. Todd Wilson put him back to 6th. Now a battle for the lead starting to heat up once again. Here comes Medinger in that number 72 machine, now almost closing up onto the rear bumper of the number 13 of Harry Codian. Codian down into turn number 1 as we completed lap 41 and 150, almost a quarter away through this race there, Phil. And we got Harry Codian sitting in that first spot. Third is Medinger in that number, or second is Medinger in that number 72. Third is Chris Elliott with some damage on the right side in that number 9 machine. He's still able to hang with these guys. I just wonder how much is it hampered his ability to pull out of line in that number 9 machine.
Well, I think it's going to remain to be seen. We saw him dominating coming forward, but as you said, he made contact with the outside wall. That certainly probably upset the handle of that machine some, and now he's fallen back to the clutches of that Chevrolet number 37 Denny Daniels machine, who's just riding in his tire tracks. Almost looks like he's just it looks like he can make that pass, Denny in that 37, Todd. Almost looks like he's choosing not to at this point. The 37, as we said, Denny Daniels, he's a cerebral driver here, especially in these open setups and especially in a place like Michigan. A guy that knows how to manage his equipment. As these guys have now chased down lap traffic here, Todd. So that throws a different wrinkle to the equation. Now, green flag pit stops aboard here, Todd. The leaders are coming in.
Yeah, Harry Codian in number 13. Also, Denny Daniels down to pit road. These guys coming down, slowing way down to the 55-mile-an-hour mark. I have the number 13 machine in his pistol right side tires going on Harry Codian. Let's see if they're going to go around as they complete service. He's going to go around. Let's see if left side tires is getting jacked up in the air. Left side tires going on the number 13 to Harry Codian. 2 takes the Sunoco race field, and they're down and away.
I'm down here in the Safeway Auto Glass pit. The number 37, Denny Daniels. Right side tire service is done there. Over to the left side. It's going to be 4 tires in full of Sunoco Racing Fuel. The 37, the Safeway Auto Glass car. He's down and away here, Todd.
Yeah, as the field is flashing by, Medinger in that number 72 machine, your current race leader, the number 9 of Elliott, sitting in that second spot. Third is David Chin in the 88. He's under heavy fire from the 07 machine of Stevenson. Stevenson down on the bottom side, pull him to third. We haven't heard much about the 07 machine, but later in the run, he's starting to march his way forward to 439. Once again, battling for that 4th spot. Now moves up to 4th in the number 439. Todd Wilson, but David Chin battling back on the high side in the number 88 machine, almost 3 wide down the front straightaway there for that 4th spot.
Yeah, almost 3 wide, as you said. They're racing for upper position. Number 4, as you said, Bobby Stevenson, the 07. Mr. Where did he come from here? He was riding at the back of that 9-car tandem draft up there in the front that broke away. Now put the 07 up to position number 3. All still chasing the race leader, the 72 of Wayne Medinger. Used the mistake from Chris Elliott absolutely to his advantage in the 72 to the racing. But looking by the start-finish line here, Todd, as we're at the ready for more green flag pit stops. But I think what we're seeing here now is, that last, these couple of elongated caution flags we saw, the Chris Elliott, rather Denny Daniels, Harry Codian, those guys stayed out there versus these guys came and topped off. And I think that's what the factor is for these guys coming to pit road a little bit before these guys.
Yeah, they're a little bit out of sequences now. Stevenson starting to make his way up to the leader there, the 72 of Medinger. I think the 07, like you said, where did he come from? Stevenson really, really quick here, late in the going here. He has a late run set up in that 07 machine, but I believe he was also down on pit road topping off, like you said, Phil. So a lot of those guys out of sequence that may not pay off for them.
So it's certainly going to, affect your strategy here. And it's at this point, you've made your bed, so you kind of got to lay in it at this point. So, we'll recap where these guys come out in the running order. We look back in the field, Codian, Denny Daniels, they're currently 20th and 21st, respectively. Also back there, Walt Coburn, Greg Artlip, those guys have all come to pit road. Now all 1 lap to the rears. They're running 20th through 23rd, respectively. But the new race leader now here, Todd, the number 72 of Medinger, looks like he lost the lead to the Stevenson machine. But Chris Elliott, the number 9 here, Todd, he's an expert off the banking to pit road.
Yeah, Chris Elliott now slowing himself down to 55 miles an hour as he has heavy right side damage. Are they going to elect to repair that number 9 machine while he's down on pit road? I'm almost willing to bet maybe just a little bit of damage repair for that number 9 machine, along with some tires here. I believe the 4 tires has got to be the call. Right side tires now up in the air. Looks like right side tires going on the number 9 of Chase Elliott, that Dorito sponsored Toyota. Now they're working their way over to the left side tires going on that number 9 machine. He is down and away. Is a little bit of damage been repaired on that number 9 of Chris Elliott.
Yeah, a little bit of damage. As you said, Todd Wilson, the 439, came down a lap ago. He took 4 tires. He's down and away. Now on this end of pit road, we find the number 2 Dodge of Matt Ebert. Looks like 4 tires. A little bit of damage being repaired there as well. The number 2 of Matt Ebert, a long pit stop here as he's revving the engine. His service done. He's down and away.
Yeah, I'm back up front here waiting for Stevenson to come down pit road in that 07 machine. I'm almost willing to bet here the next couple laps you'll see that 07 come down pit road. Stevenson now lengthy out here leading this race in that 07 machine. Is the number 8's coming in? Phil, you got him?
Yep, Wayne Hoke there, that number 8 machine slides that Monster Energy Chevrolet there. You know, got those tires a little bit warm there. You know, maybe flat spotted them coming in, but that's, you know, throw that all out the window there in the middle of green flag stops here, Todd. Yellow flag on the speedway.
That yellow flag out there on the speedway. This will be yellow flag number 7 of the evening here at the Michigan International Speedway. We are on lap 50 of 150. We have 100 laps to go, and yellow flag has struck us once again.
That yellow flag, as you said, striking us once again, trying to find, you know, was down here covering pit stops. Didn't see what happened out on the racetrack, but I was down here, you know, Wayne Hawk's pit. I was also, you know, monitoring the number 88 of David Shin. You know, that they were all coming down for service, but they've elected, you know, they just made the pass through pit road, but they'll come back in next time around and get service, you got to imagine. So this is certainly going to change the shakeup of the running order here, Todd. You know, those guys that came down pit road, you know, and just pitted here, got fresh tires, got fuel. Do they stay out? Maybe get the wave around? We'll have to see here through these next couple of laps. And Rich, I believe you're ready with the replay there, so show us what happened. Caution flag, number 7 of the evening.
Yeah, guys, we're going to keep the camera focused on the 15 of Alphonse as he gets through here. It looks like there's a little bit of miscommunication with him and the 8 as they're getting ready to go into the pit. Looks like the 8's going into the pit. Wasn't sure the 15 was ready to. He barely missed him, or he tried to miss him. Ended up touching his right rear quarter panel. That's going to send him around kind of in a slow motion wash cycle right down the front stretch. Doesn't look like he's going to hit anything too hard or whatever. But he keeps it up there by the wall. Everybody else is able to get around him nice and easy on the bottom side. But tough break for the 15 machine. A little bit of miscommunication in the pits, it looks like. Back to you.
Yeah, as you said, I think that's the best word. A little bit of miscommunication coming on and off pit road. But, you know, Todd, in a place like in Michigan, you're out there, and you know, in these packs, you're close to 200 miles per hour. The fuel has burned off. The tires have gone away. The handling may have, you know, be a little bit of ill fading. You know, tell our drivers out there who have never experienced coming out here for a green flag pit stop at Michigan, this may be one of the more trickier pit roads getting down off the banking at these high speeds.
It's got to be a little bit tricky. You know, I mean, setup-wise, you're changing different things, and you're coming down pit road. You're trying to blow down to 55 miles an hour as we are on lap. I believe it's lap 51. Actually, we're on lap 50 of 150, as I said when we took the yellow flag, 50 of 150 out there on the speedway. And Phil, to say a little bit more about that as we were coming down onto pit road, it's a really hard transition. 200 miles an hour down to 55 miles an hour. You have to be on the brakes. You don't want to be caught speeding because that'll cost you even more precious seconds at the line, especially green flag pit stop. That's going to cost you it could cost you a lap here later in the race and getting out of that lead pack. That's the thing that you don't want to do. Under yellow flag, it's a little bit less forgiving. Or a little bit more forgiving, I should say, under yellow flag is you may get an end of the long line penalty with the speeding down pit road, but you're able to at least start in the back where green flag pit stops, it just really, really hurts you.
It's one of these tracks here, Todd. I think green flag pit stops certainly one of the trickier places you come to anytime you go to Michigan. You got to be so fine. You get a lot of green flag racing, and we talk about it all the time here on DRTV. You can't make the critical mistake getting on and off pit road. It can certainly ruin your night. And if I'm out there on my DRTV motorsports machine, you know, I'm one of those guys going to conserve my stuff, save as much as I can, and be one of those last cars to pit road, because you never know who you may trap a lap down by just saving an extra lap. You're seeing the faster of those guys like, you know, Harry Codian, Denny Daniels, Todd Wilson, Walt Coburn, even Chris Elliott, guys that were out there competing for the race lead. They pitted here a little bit early, and they may find themselves trapped a lap down, and to the advantage of guys that we haven't talked a lot about, say Mike Ireland, Ken Smith, even VP Darrell Pace, who's up to the 6th spot. You manage your equipment here, Todd. it sometimes turns your night around catching one of these caution flags. And, when you increase your spot in the standings, that's always a good thing.
Yeah, it's always a good thing to increase your spot in the standings. There's a lot of these guys staying out on the field. They came down for these green flag pit stops there, Phil. As Cody Yan out there, 37 of Danny Daniels, Todd Wilson, the 070 of Walt Coburn, the 9 of Chris Elliott. Those guys all staying out here in front of the leaders, and they're on the tail end of the lead lap. I'm not sure what their policy is here about wave around cars. We're going to have to wait and see what their policy is. I'm not sure if they get a wave around or if they're going to have to earn their lap back the hard way here, starting in front of the leaders. I've always questioned this kind of philosophy before because I've actually wrecked under philosophies like this with like 5 or 6 to go and had somebody put me in the wall that was on the tail end of the lead lap and ruined my night. But that does not look like they do have wave arounds here tonight. So they're going to start in front of the leader. So they're going to have to make sure they stay in front of the leader here this on this restart to try to get their lap back the hard way. This is old school style rules. So we're going to have to wait and see if any of these guys are fast enough to stay in front of our leaders.
Yeah, for our viewers out there that can think a long way back, it's hard to believe we've been in the lucky dog area as long as we have. But, old school racing, as Todd said, these guys going to now race their way back from the tail end of the lead lap. So you're going to see the likes of Harry Cody Yan, the Denny Daniels machine, Todd Wilson, Walt Coburn, and Chris Elliott. Those guys all going to restart the top 5 positions on the racetrack, but still 1 lap down now behind our race leader, which is Bobby Stevenson, aboard that number 07, Wayne Medinger, the 72, David Chin, the 88, Ken Smith in the 05, and Daryl Pace, the 66. That's going to be your restarting top 5, but those guys are going to be stuck back in traffic here, Todd. So that certainly could affect the restart with these, these lap cars, or shouldn't call them lap cars. These guys have a tail end of the lead lap. It's going to make some interesting times back there for our current race leaders.
Yeah, it's definitely going to make for some interesting times as the pace fan get ready to make that hard left-hand turn. I believe the lights are out atop the DRTV pace fan as I'm trying to see a little bit here with these glasses a little bit weird on my head here this evening, but I'm starting to see things sometimes like pink and purple polka-dotted elephants here at Michigan International Speedway. I don't think I should be seeing that kind of stuff. But green flag getting ready to come out on the speedways. I believe that's a lucky dog that flashed by. Green flag is in the air here, and I'm not sure what happened on that restart there, Phil, is I seen a bunch of cars go flying there, and one of them, I believe, I'm not sure who that was a green and black car. They're way up in front of everybody.
I believe that might have been the Wayne Hawk machine, that number 8 machine. I believe that was the black and green machine you saw drive up there, but the restart coming on lap number 54, and it's kind of peeked back through traffic here, Todd. The race leaders that, took the green flag with the lead, they were about 10th in line coming to the, the green flag. That being Bobby Stevenson, the 07, Wayne Medinger, David Chin. That is your current top 3. A lot of racing going on as guys all sorts of out of shape there off of turn 4.
Yeah, all sorts of out of shape as we are on lap 54 of 150 here as we flash by the start-finish line. For everybody out there in YouTube land, we are on lap 54 of 150 here. These guys still battling out the 07 machine. Still your current race leader in that Stevenson machine. Walt Colburn is a lap car in between himself and the number 72 of Wayne Medinger in that number 72 machine. Now able to get around him. He's going to set his sights on the 07 of Stevenson here now. No lap car in between himself and the current race leader, the 07 machine. So it's interesting to watch these guys navigate through traffic as you watch an evasive maneuver by the Stevenson machine to get around the 2 of Matt Eber. He's now got himself kind of like a pick here with the 2 of Matt Eber in between himself and Wayne Medinger in that number 72 machine.
Yeah, but looking, the front 4 cars in this pack, those guys have started, on the tail end of the lead lap. Harry Cody Yan, Denny Daniels, Todd Wilson, Chris Elliott. Those guys have all drove away from those 4 guys behind. They got a good gap, probably about a second and a half. And back to our current race leader, who is Bobby Stevenson, the 07. Wayne Medinger, the 72, is right there in line as well. So those 2 cars trying to break away from about 3rd place Ken Smith, who has a couple of lap cars in between as he attempts to move forward, but racing side by side. But, those guys are lap down, those being the Coburn machine, the 70, and also back there as well. So these guys juking and jiving all for position. You got cars a lap down and cars fighting for the tail end of the lead lap here, Todd. So there's a whole lot of different things going on all over Michigan right now.
Yeah, a lot of different things going on in Michigan right now, and these guys just fighting. And these guys are starting to walk away a little bit. The guys up front here, these guys that were one lap down in the rears, they're on the tail end of the lead lap. They're just trying to stay in front of that 07 of Stevenson. You got 72 of Medinger running in that second spot. Third is the number 05 of Ken Smith. We haven't talked much about Ken Smith, but now he's in that third spot. Fourth is on the Speedway's David Chin in the 88 machine. Fifth is the number... Wow, we have to go way back to the number 66 of Darrell Pace. So there's quite a few different strategies going on. Different people on the lead lap, different people a lap down. It just makes for different strategy calls. As Darrell Pace looks in front of himself, and now he's got the 98 of Greg Artlip. Artlip is one lap down. He was one of those guys that was up in the top 5, Phil. And you got to look at Gary Mingus. He's 2 laps down. He's sitting in 24th. So Darrell Pace trying to battle through lap traffic. He's inside the top 5 in the number 66 machine, but I'm seeing another car hit the wall. That's the 013 machine staying into the wall there just a little bit down the back straightaway, so that's interesting. He keeps it righted. Nobody makes contact with that 013, Phil.
Oh, that's Carl Ragucci there, the 013, currently in that 25th position. He is 4 laps down to the rear of the field. There's 59 laps going on up on the scoreboard, 150 here, the main event distance. But looking at the intervals out there, Todd, you see those front 4 that are currently clinging to the end of the lead lap. You know, Daniels, Cody, and Elliott, and Todd Wilson. But you see those top 2 guys are current race leaders. The Bobby Stevens machine, the Wayne Medinger machine. They've pulled a full second and a half advantage over third place Ken Smith. So with the benefit of these 4 fast cars forward, the top 2 leaders, they've been able to pull away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, they've been able to pull away from the rest of the field, but these guys want to keep these guys in front of them a lap down. As now the 07 jumps to the high side. He's trying to put Todd Wilson back down a lap in that 439 machine. He's able to do so here, I believe. Nope, and they're still fighting there as Denny Daniels still works with the 439 machine. Here comes the number 72 down to the bottom side. That's Medinger in that 72 machine. He's got a Molson Canadian sponsored machine there. And that number 72 machine not able to complete the pass on Stevenson here down the back straightaway into corner number 1. As the Stevenson machine was trying to put some of these cars 1 lap down, but they're working together, Phil. I almost think their spotters are up there saying, hey, work with us. Let's keep everybody on this lap, and hopefully we get a yellow.
Well, you know what those guys at the front of the field are doing, but if you're behind the wheel, if you're Bobby Stevenson and that number 07 right now, Todd, are you panicking this part in the run? Are you going to try to put these guys a lap down, or you just, you okay riding in line behind these guys, knowing if we stay green flag racing, these guys still have a full lap of racing to catch up on you?
Well, what's going on right now? I watch the guys bouncing off the wall. I want to get around these guys. These guys are fighting tooth and nail to try to stay on the lead lap. I want to get around these guys. They may cause some havoc for me. As now the 72 machine, now Medinger back down to the bottom side. He's fighting with the 07 machine. Not able to do so, but look at these lap cars. They're kind of pinning the 07 of Stevenson up on the top side of the speedway. He's not able to go to the bottom as now Medinger now to the lead in that number 72 machine. Put the 07 of Stevenson back to that second spot as Medinger slide job maneuver, as we would call in dirt racing. That's the 72 machine. Now a high-low switch by the 07 of Stevenson. He's trying to make that work. Not going to be able to do so as the 72 Medinger closes the door on the 72.
And it is great racing there. These guys lack back in traffic, as you said. These 4 guys up on the front of the field clinging to the tail end of the lead lap, and great racing for the lead now. And now, Mr. Who, where did he come from? Ken Smith in the 05 there, Todd. He's also entered the fray. He's side by side to the high side of a Stevenson machine off of turn 2.
Yeah, Ken Smith there was momentarily now 3 wide with the leaders. The 72 Medinger down on the bottom side. He's trying to get lap cars away. Now here comes the 07. He's back to the lane. That's Stevenson. These guys fighting tooth and nail. The lap cars on the tail end of the lead lap. I keep calling them lap cars, but they are actually on the tail end of the lead lap. These guys are causing all kinds of havoc. For your race leaders, now back down to the bottom side is Stevenson. He's trying to get around the 13 of Cody Ann. He's not able to do so down into turn number 1. I believe Cody Ann's going to have that run coming down into turn number 1, but the 07 able to pull up alongside of him. Maybe the 07 slide job maneuver going to put Cody Ann down 1 lap. Now he sets his sights on Todd Wilson to try to put him down a lap once again in that 439 machine. But again, these guys causing all kinds of havoc between the leaders. But here comes Stevenson down to the bottom, trying to make short work of these guys, trying to get to the lead, trying to find that daylight in that 07.
Well, I don't think it's going to be short work. I think he's got a tall order ahead of him, as these guys have definitely showed to be some of the faster cars on the speedway here tonight. But, you know, Rich, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Todd here a minute ago. I'm watching the 07 of Bobby Stevenson, our current race leader, racing around these guys that are clinging to the tail end of the lead lap, and they're racing as hard as they possibly can. Do you advocate for the 07 right now, racing as hard as he is in this traffic, or are you going to, you know, maybe keep in the back of your mind to manage your equipment, because these guys are all really fast race cars, and you have them almost one full lap behind you over the course of a long green flag run? That may play to your advantage at some point.
Yeah, I think he's probably going about it the right way. It looks like he's being pretty patient, trying to keep his car smooth to get around these guys, and I think it's probably a wise move. If he can get some of these guys between the guys behind him that are running for position, you know, that's more that they've got to fight to even catch him. So it's probably a good idea. Don't know how it's going to affect him once we go through another cycle of green flag pit stops. We'll have to see, but you know, right now, I think he's fighting his way to give himself a break a little bit later. I think it's a good idea.
Well, it's certainly paying off, you know, in his favor right now for Bobby Stevenson aboard that 07. He was able to make his way around Cody Yan. You know, looks like he's also got Todd Wilson behind, and now he's got two faster cars up ahead of him there. The 37 of Denny Daniels is there. The number 9 machine of Chris Elliott is there. So he's almost, you know, mission accomplished as far as maybe trapping these guys all back a lap down here, Todd. But, you know, my question is, you know, burning off the amount of tires he is, how much of that race car is he abusing, you know, putting these guys a lap down?
I don't know. I think he's using that draft to his advantage now, putting Denny Daniels down the lap on the top side, no less, down the back straightaway. And that 07 machine. Now he sets the sights on the 9 of Chris Elliott. He's done this pretty methodically. It looks like maybe Daniels maybe coming down pit road in that 37 machine. Not sure, hearing that in my ear, but the 9 of Elliott trying to stay in front of the 07 of Stevenson. Stevenson just minding his mirrors. Yep, Denny Daniels down on pit road. Phil, you got him?
I do. 55 miles per hour, the speed limit here tonight on pit road, awaiting to see what the call for the 37 camp is. He was one of those cars that stayed out there, and, you know, he's got a little bit of, you know, of older tire, burned off a little more fuel. So let's see, is it going to be 2 tires or 4? We know he's going to take 2 cans of fuel, so I got to assume it's going to be a 4-tire pit stop. Right side work is done. They're going to swing over to the left side, so it's going to be a 4-tire pit stop. The Safe Flight Auto Glass number 37, Todd, he's down and away.
As meanwhile, back up front, Elliott down 1 lap now to the 07 of Stevenson. Stevenson's got clean air, which he wanted. I believe Elliott's going to have to come down pit road here too momentarily, as they were all on the same frequency as Cody Yan down on pit road. So these guys pretty much on the same frequency, the same kind of strategy that they got going on. The 9, the 13 machine, the 37, they all have to come down pit road, I believe, for fuel. Now Ken Smith in that second spot as Elliott backs out of it just a little bit. That number 9 machine, I think he's trying to get down to pit road, trying to get down to the bottom side, but he's letting these guys go by him. So that's going to be costly in seconds there to go down on that pit road. So, Phil, we are on lap 70 right now. I believe 70. Yep, we are on lap 70, right? 71 of 150 here. Almost halfway home here. The Michigan International Speedway for the Bryant Motorsports Auto Sales 300.
Yeah, I was down to the 13 camp, the Appliance Alley Chevrolet of Harry Cody Yan. He took 4 tires and fuel. He was one of those guys there, Todd, that stayed out there trying to, you know, stay in front of the leader, but he's had to give that run up. Cody Yan on pit road, 4 tires and fuel, and certainly going to fall off the lead lap now. Maybe 2 laps to the rears when this thing sorts out.
Yeah, that's going to be the benefactor there just a little bit, as these guys, as the leader was rushing to try to put these guys down a lap, maybe now down 2 laps, as the leader's flashing by some of these guys down on the bottom side of the speedway there. As Medinger right now running in that 3rd spot, been following him around, is now the 07 of Stevenson still up front waiting for this lead group going down. I believe, Phil, you got somebody else down on pit road?
I do. I got the 416, the Menard Chevrolet of Audrey Waits on pit road. Audrey out there running around in position number, it looks like around that 13th position. He was on the lead lap when he pitted. He's going to definitely lose the lead lap now as he comes to pit road. A 4-tire pit stop on that Chevrolet. The Audrey Waits machine work is all done. Fuel is in. He's down and away on this end of pit road.
Still waiting for some of these guys also to come down on pit road. I believe Todd Wilson coming down pit road here momentarily there, Phil. That 439, maybe he's already come down on pit road. I'm looking to see as he is down on pit road. Phil, you got him too?
I do. The 439 DeWalt Toyota Camry, Todd Wilson onto pit road. Right side tire work already complete. Left side's really quick on the left sides. His work is down and away. 439 joining the race there, Todd, but another one of those guys who stayed out playing that gamble, having to pit here a little early.
Yeah, it's definitely playing a gamble there. Rolling the dice here at the Michigan International Speedway. It's going to be interesting to see what these guys up front are going to do. Ken Smith in the 05, he's currently running in that second spot. As like we said, we are coming up on the halfway point. We will be halfway home this time by when the leaders cross the stripe, so we'll be halfway home, 75 of 150 laps. That's 300 miles here to Michigan International Speedway, a long race, and now we're under a great green flag run. As we got a yellow flag here halfway home. Now we have a yellow flag, Phil, as green flag pit stops once again. Those guys that were on that gamble, that's not going to pay off for them either once again, as they're going to be trapped another lap down to your leaders.
Oh, it's just a death nail to your night there now, is that you not only lost one lap through around the green flag stops, got trapped, you get trapped the whole second lap here now. That is certainly going to damage those guys' night. For sure. Blow that theory all to pieces. I was waiting in the 05 camp of Ken Smith. He was about to bring the Marlboro machine down on the second spot, but when the yellow flag came out, left him on the racetrack. So looking at it unofficially here, Todd, it's going to leave 12 drivers here on the lead lap. Tough break for these guys who all just came to pit road.
Yeah, definitely a tough break for these guys. Is now you got Ken Smith, the 07 Stevenson. I almost guarantee you they're pretty low on fuel. They're running right down on the apron. And I believe they're going to come down pit road this time by and get some service to their vehicles. And that's going to help those guys out as there's 12 cars, like you said, Phil, left on the lead lap. I have Ken Smith in front of me, and I have the 07 also right there. So we're going to wait and see what these guys do. I almost willing to bet 4 tires is the call for these guys. They're going to get Sunoco Racing fuel and top that fuel off here down on pit road, and we're just going to wait and see. As now we got the 05 of Ken Smith down into his pit stall. Right side tires going up in the air. Jackman underneath him with that. Right side tires have now been complete. Now over to the left side. Left side tires complete almost complete here for Ken Smith. It's a pretty fast pit stop here. Ken Smith is down and away.
I was down in our race leader, Bobby Stevenson. 4 tires going to be the call there for the 07. Work on that machine down and away. Also looks like 4 tires for David Shin, the number 88. Work done there on pit road. Race leaders, Todd, all down and away at this end of pit road.
Yeah, indeed. The race leaders all down and away here. They're able to join the tail end of the field here. And I believe some of those guys that are trapped laps down would stay out. I wouldn't see any reason why they wouldn't stay out, just to try to get at least 1 lap back. Now they're going to have to get 2 laps back, Cody Ed and all those guys. But I know somebody's ready down there in the trailer. That's Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, for the replay. What brought out this yellow flag, Rich?
Yeah, this time the camera's going to stay focused on the 81 of Don Bergen. As he gets into the corner, he is all by himself. We'll play this in slow motion. The rear end starts coming around on him. He tries to get on the brakes, tries to save it, does a heck of a job, but next thing you know, it's going to come all the way around on him. Flat spotting some tires for sure right there. Bounces it off the wall a little bit, nothing too major. Keeps it up there by the wall. Everybody else is able to get around him. But a tough break for Don in that 81 machine. He's definitely going to have to replace them tires now. Back to you guys.
No, and certainly going to have to repair tires, as you said. So looks like unofficially, Todd, 12 drivers going to be on the lead lap. What a break for these guys that have played this strategy just perfectly here tonight. We talk about our race leader Stevenson, the 07. How about the run for Ken Smith? Wasn't much of a factor through the first 50 laps, but he's been a player here through these last 25 laps or so. So great move by him. Wayne Medinger, he's been a player as well. But, how about the rebounds for guys like Wayne Hawk, the number 8, Connor Metz, the 24. I mean, those guys been, not been near the lead pack whatsoever, but just been playing the game, keeping their car clean. And right now they find themselves all in contention for a top 5 finish here as we've hit the halfway mark of this thing.
Yeah, definitely. And another guy that I've heard a lot of chatter about in the chat box, that Ed Vaughn, and that number 92, he's still on the lead lap. He's still clocking laps away. And that number 92 machine, he started deep in the field in that number 92. But Ed Vaughn now up into 7th position in that number 92. So I've heard a lot of chatter down in the chat box from him. I mean, it may be early. We are halfway home here. Maybe a little bit early for picks there, Phil. And I'm not going to pick anybody, even though I kind of like that Todd Wilson guy out there. But he's also 1 lap down. So we're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen here in the future, if these guys are going to earn their laps back the hard way there, Phil.
Yeah, as we await here, another green flag here, under caution flag, the 8th time tonight, working lap number 77, just past the halfway marker, 150 laps, 300 miles, the main event distance here at the Michigan International Speedway tonight, the Bryant Motorsports Auto Sales 300 for our friends at the All-Star Racing League, and these guys, as always, anytime we come over here, always provide us with some commercial breaks here for us. So we're going to pause here for a quick minute, take a drink, and reset. And we'll be right back here on the DRTV DRL Network.
Looking for a used car? Afraid you won't qualify? At Bryant Motorsports, you're approved. Bryant Motorsports has 9.9% financing for everyone. No credit check, no employment check. There's no small print here. Everyone is approved. Monthly payments as low as $200 and down payments as low as $500. Plus in-house financing. Visit BryantMotorsportsAutoSales.com. Browse the inventory, check the Carfax, and come in for a test drive. Cars are going fast. Bryant Motorsports Auto Sales, locally owned and operated on High Street in Portsmouth.
And back here at the Michigan International Speedway, special thanks to all these guys at the All-Star Racing League to, provide us here these commercials. The presenting sponsors over here week after week for all the racing. Special thanks to Bryant Motorsports for having us over here tonight. A lot of great stuff going on from these guys at the All-Star Racing League. Find them at asracing2k3.net. Find David Shin, Gary Mingus, and all the guys at the All-Star Racing League. Also, very, very active on Facebook. You can find their page at AS Racing. Look for the NASCAR Racing 2003 season game logo there, and, like their page, and you can stay up to date on all the great stuff these guys got going on. 7 nights a week of racing these guys do. It's such a feat, for any league nowadays to be out there racing 3 to 4 nights a week. These guys do it right. 7 nights a week, open setup racing, fixed setup racing. Out here in the Cup cars tonight in the open setups. Also Saturday nights out here in the NCTS Oman at open setups. Also open setup racing here on Wednesday and Friday nights. Fixed setup racing here with the Aero 88 cars on Thursday night. Monday and Tuesday nights also, fixed setup racing in the CWS 2014, the old NXS 15 mod. So lots of great racing for these guys. AS Racing 2K3.net is how you find them. Green flag Todd back in the air.
Yeah, green flag back in the air, the 439. Wilson, the only guy to stay out in front of the leader, and he's trying to make short work of it, trying to stay in front of that 07 of Stevenson. Here comes the 070 of Colburn. Colburn now, he was on the lap down machine, and he was now, and something's wrong with the 07 machine. He's just not taking off, and it sounds like he's really in a high gears. The 05 machine now in the lead. And now we're on a yellow flag number 9 here at the Michigan International Speedway. Big wreck. Yeah, I believe on the back straightaway there, Phil.
Oh, tremendous wreck out here. Just kind of, checking up off of 2. Somebody got a little bit loose. It might have been from that 07 machine kind of being off the pace. Not sure if that's where it broke loose, but, certainly something amiss going on with the Stevenson machine. He fell way off the pace there. He was, our restart leader coming to the green flag. So, speed bumps there for the 07. Not sure if he, had a gear go out, missed a gear, missed a shift, or something going wrong in the motor, but it certainly, transpired a multiple car wreck behind him. It looks like, the Larry Sheldon machine, Connor Metz also involved. So multiple different cars there tore up, Todd. And, maybe a break for the likes of, say, a Chris Elliott. Looks like he might find himself now, the benefactor of the lucky dog and get his way back to the lead lap.
Well, Todd Wilson was a benefactor in that 439 machine there, Phil, as he was in front of the leader at the time of also the 070 of Walt Colburn in the 070 machine. He's able to get a lap back, so 2 of those guys that were trapped 2 laps down now are going to be 1 lap down. But I'm going to throw it down to Mr. TV's Art Rich Patton, who has the replay queued up, and maybe we'll get some Richisms out of this one.
Yeah, I don't know how we're going to do for Richisms, but we're going to play this one out as we can. Not going forward yet because there's a lot of things about to happen. We're going to keep the camera on the 98. That's Greg Artlip. He's going to give us some of the better action of this, but he's not the cause of this. So keep your eyes on that 2 of Ebert and the 013 as well as we start playing this out a little bit. Looks like the 13 goes down on the apron, gets a little loose or whatever, overcorrects and comes back up into the 2. The 2's going to go into the 98. That's going to send Artlip around, and it doesn't look like too much more than just a wash cycle, but there you go. He gets door slammed. That's going to send him doing an aerial barrel roll. Unbelievable move on that 98 machine. Lands it on all 4 tires. tough break for this guy, but yeah, there's chaos back here. Cars went sliding everywhere, and it looked like Artlip got the worst of that one, guys. Back to you.
All right, so under yellow flag, as Todd said, for the 9th time tonight. Now working lap number 81. I'm down on this end of pit road here, Todd. I'm down in the 07 pit. You know, that toll machine, the Bobby, Stevenson, the race leader, number 07. I'm going to see what happens here on pit road. If, we hear the engine go off or what's going to happen, because something definitely would have missed there. Aboard our race leader, the right side tires are in the air. So far looking like this stop may be routine. Right sides are down. It's going to be a 2-tire stop. Didn't hear the motor go off or nothing. So maybe we can talk to Bobby here under this caution here, Todd, see what maybe happened to that thing.
Yeah, maybe we can talk to the 07 of Bobby Stevenson, see what happened, and maybe get that sorted out. As that was a tough break there at the start. He just seemed like he just rolled over for that 05 machine to just take over the lead, and he did so. As Ken Smith, now your current race leader, as we are on lap 81 of 150 here, closing in on the 100 lap mark, almost 50 laps to go, as we got about 69 laps to go here in the race. But I'm going to throw it to Phil, who I believe has caught up with him.
Yeah, let's see if we can't talk to the driver of the 07 of Bobby Stevenson off. Bobby, Phil LeCasse from DRTV, my friend. You have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Bobby, you restarted out there with the 07. You had a strong race car all night long. Looks like something going amiss there. What happened? Was there something with the motor? Did you miss a shift? What happened there? That thing lost a lot of speed off of turn 2.
Yeah, I got a bad start, I think, and she got a bit loose coming out of turn 1, and I just had to let up and let him go, catch him up later.
So you're telling me, just got a little bit loose. The race car is still all good. No issues there whatsoever?
No issues, yeah, just a bit of driver error, I think, there, but we can work on it.
So we've seen a lot of green flag racing here now over these last 50 laps, Bobby. Tell us what it's been like out there behind the driver's seat. You had those 4 guys on the tail end of the lead lap that were racing there awfully hard. What was that racing out there like? Because they were racing you really aggressive up there.
Oh, white knuckle stuff, that's for sure, yeah. It's been very hard going, I believe. Very cutthroat on the restart, so we're just hanging in there trying to do the best we can.
Well, Bobby, we appreciate you a couple seconds here to talk to us on DRTV, behind the wheel of the 07. So we're going to let you get back to the race channel, my friend, but good luck the rest of the night. Wanted to make sure that car was all still good, and you certainly got a fast piece, so I'm sure we'll see you marching forward here real soon. Thank you again, my friend.
Good as gold, mate. Go Australia.
All right, that's right. Go Australia, as he said. Bobby Stevenson aboard that 07. Now, one of the great things we haven't talked much about here tonight, Todd, but 3 countries represented this race here tonight. Bobby and our friend Ken Smith, they both come from Australia. We've had a couple of Canadians here in the field and represented from the coast to coast here, from Maine to Florida, all the way out to the West Coast in California. So, the continental United States represented here. So 3 countries here in the field here tonight. That's certainly cool to be a part of this event here.
Yeah, definitely cool to be a part of this event. Always like the Australian accent there. And Ken Smith is your current race leader. Like you said, he is from Australia also. As we are on lap 83 of 150 for everybody out there at YouTube land. We are on lap 83 of 150. Yeah, that's going to be a good question, Phil. What time is it in Australia? Maybe you guys out in the chat box, we can't get to it, but go out and Google what time is it in Australia right now. Go Google it. Let's see who comes up with the answer first out there in the YouTube chat box. We're going to lay back and wait. We'll see what you guys have to say.
Yeah, I want to hear the answer to this as well as we approach 11 p.m., on the East Coast here in the United States. So, I want to, if the YouTube chat box can maybe help us out here tonight, what time is it out there in the lands of Australia? I believe it may be, a 10 to 12 time difference there, Todd. So it's got to be close to breakfast time, which, thinking breakfast and food, I'm sure Rich is going to get on the horn, probably get a snack down there shortly. Maybe he can, send a little bit up here as well, up here to the booth and, keep us going, some Cheetos or, some Gatorade or whatever else we can muster up here. So we still got a lot of racing left to go. 83 laps of 150 up on the scoreboard. So, a little outside of 200 miles here left, or 150 miles left to go to this thing. But getting the report from the chat box, and thank you guys out there. Looks like, Todd, it is 12:48 right now in Australia, so it's already tomorrow. They're a full 14 hours ahead of us, and thanks guys out there in the chat box for that. It is awfully cool, to have 3 countries here represented here tonight, and lunchtime out there in Australia right now. So Bobby may be getting a sandwich as he gets ready to go back to green.
He might be getting a sandwich, might be getting fed there. It's got to be right around lunchtime. Is Ken Smith, your current race leader, Cody Ann and Denny Daniels. Those guys are laps down. They are battling to try to get their laps back the hard way. As we're on lap 84, 150, we're down the back straightaway here at the Michigan International Speedway for the Bryant Motorsports Auto Sales 300. And now we got a battle for the lead. The 72 down to the bottom side once again here in that Canadian Molson sponsored machine. He's trying to get around the 05 of Ken Smith.
Hey, he's to the low side, as you said. That's racing for position. It looks like number 2, number 3 up there on the board as they work their way down the front stretch. Ken Smith sliding into second. Wayne Medinger, the 72, off into third. But, Todd, I just had, the corrupt hiccup of all time up here in the booth. Scrolling back to the replay of the last caution flag. It's had to be a lot here recently. Remember to hit that live button because you're calling racing action to the back stretch, and I'm still behind the pace bin in turn 3. So way to go there, partner. Catching me up as always.
Yeah, I'm always trying to stay live. I make sure that live's down there. Not, this time I actually had my glasses on, so I actually can see that. So that way we're calling live racing action. We're always back here trying to review these replays, trying to figure out what's going on. Maybe get you guys a different angle out there in the YouTube chat box. So there's a lot of different things going on, even with us announcers here in the controls, and trying to figure out what's going on with some of these guys, and why they're pitting, why maybe they've pulled off the speedway, maybe something was going amiss above them. But Denny Daniels right now and Harry Codian in front of the current race leader, the 05 of Ken Smith. Medinger running in that second spot in the number 72 machine. Again, the number 9 of Chris Elliott. He is back on the lead lap. He is running third there, Phil, and he's making some headway.
No, he is. He's making some headway, as you said, currently in the third spot. Was running along with the Ed Vaughn machine, who's one car behind him. The 92 was thinking he may use the draft to pull up to these guys, but the top 3 on the racetrack starting to pull away a little bit. That interval now over a second and a half as they hit turn 3.
Yeah, the interval definitely over a second and a half over. I believe that's the number 92 machine. But again, Ed Vaughn running in that 4th spot in the number 92. So Ed Vaughn, we know there's Ed Vaughn fan out there, and he's already picked him to win. So we know he's out there in that YouTube chat box. We'll keep you posted on that as we're on lap 88 of 150 here at the stripe here. We're coming down into turn number 1. Still leading this race is Ken Smith in that 05.
Yeah, Ken Smith, the 05, that Marlboro machine. Another one of our Australian drivers here tonight now pacing the field. Wayne Medinger, the 72. He's in that second spot. And yellow flag on the speedway, Todd. Yellow flag, I believe, number 10 here this evening. Working now lap 88 of 150. And, that's going to be a break for the Todd Wilson machine. The 439 here, Todd. Looks like he's going to be the benefactor of the lucky dog. So we know the Wilson machine, he's been fast all night long, and he's going to bring himself back to the lead lap.
Yeah, that's going to be good. Good for those guys, but bad for some of these guys. But I'm not sure what's going on here with some of these guys. But Harry Codian back, I believe, on the lead lap in the number 13 machine now. Should be back on the lead lap, or one lap down. Maybe we're going to have to wait for scoring and timing to reset. I thought they were trapped 2 laps down, but I could be wrong. We'll wait for them to reset as we're going to come up and complete lap 89 here. It's going to be 90 at the stripe. We're just waiting for what happened out there on the speedway. I've seen a lot of smoke out there. I believe it might have had something to do with the 55 of Terry Bradley. He's down on pit road already, and he's got heavy damage on the top of his roof. So I'm almost thinking maybe he did a little bit of surfing in that 55 machine, but I'm not 100% positive. Maybe he did it a little bit early in the event. I may have missed that one.
I think he may have been involved with something earlier, but not seeing anything as far as contact on the racetrack, as far as I'm seeing. So I have to maybe get a peek of race control. I mean, usually don't see debris cautions much, but we may see our second one here today is, we got Dr. Green to arrive here for a little while. Maybe we can repage him here again here, Todd. Maybe we can, maybe write that script. But trying to give Rich a point of reference here with the replay. looking like, oh, we did find something to replay there. Something going on around the 55 with Terry Bradley. So Todd hit it on the head there with contact, looking like with number 2. Not quite so sure. We'll let Rich get that all sorted out with the replay. So, 3-man team all working together up here to find the replay. And Rich will have that for you here in just a second as he gets that all screened out. But, Todd, you said there was damage to the 55 with the roof. And, not sure it was from this wreck or not, but certainly contact there. And Terry Bradley's machine going to pick up a little more damage as he looks like he's going to bring that thing behind the wall. His night may be done as well.
Yeah, and that's a tough break for those guys. It looked like a tire going to mess up board the number 55 machine of Bradley. So tire's going to relegate him to behind the pit wall into the garage. Maybe a little bit more than a tire rod, probably a broken tie rod end, or it could even be a broken A-frame. Could be anything. That tire means just about anything. Tough break for him, though. He's going to finish up around the 17th position. Like we said, we're on the yellow flag once again. Just waiting for the replay there as contact was made. So your current race leader going back up through here. I'm trying to look here as we got Gary Mingus and these guys trying to stay out here. But your current race leader is the number 72 of Wayne Madigger, and he is your current race leader. A lot of these guys coming down pit road because they were laps down that are in front of him. But I'm going to throw it down to Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, who has the replay queued up and ready for everybody out there in YouTube land.
Yeah, we're going to keep the cameras focused on the number 2 of Matt Ebert as he gets down into, it looks like the 12 right there. There's a little bit of contact as it's going to push his nose out towards the wall. Matt goes out, bounces off the wall pretty hard. You've seen that car get up on 2 wheels, and then all of a sudden there's more contact. The 55 puts the number 2 into the spin cycle. 55 goes down in front of the 00. He also gets spun. The 00 comes across the track, smacks nose first into the wall. Meanwhile, Matt Ebert still stuck in the spin cycle, fogging for mosquitoes on the backstretch. Whole bunch of spinning going on here. Looks like just those 3 guys involved, the 00, the number 2, and the 55. Back to you guys.
All right, so working caution flag, I believe it's speed number 10, working lap number 91, 150 here, the distance here, so 60 laps here to go. So we can start to maybe move this clock a little bit backwards here, Todd. The pit window here tonight with fuel and tires was about 30 laps, so if you stop here, is it possible you maybe stop one more time and play that gamble and maybe use that track position and set yourself up for the finish of this thing?
I don't know. I'm to the point where I wouldn't know because there's been quite a few yellows. I just don't know if I would like to do anything right now. Stay out there and get the track position. I just don't know. I would actually. I'm gonna have to go out on a limb. I would say I'd go down to pit road. We're right on the cusp, and maybe just get some fuel and then come back out. Tires, and get some tires, and then come back out and see where it goes from there. As yellow flags have fallen, so I just don't know.
Well, I'm going to ask that out to the YouTube chat box. What do you think from here as we're inside 60 laps to go? Are you stopping here and maybe banking on one more pit stop from here? I mean, what do you think, guys? Todd, at a loss, what he would do. I'm thinking I'm going to stretch this fuel on this run as long as I can and set up for that one more pit stop because I'm thinking that track position may be everything here in these late goings. You don't want to get yourself trapped a lap down. So I'm thinking, running this thing absolutely as long as you can and, running this thing as dry as you can and playing that track position. I think that'll pay off, and I think that's how you're going to find yourself here in victory lane. The Bryant Motorsports 300 from the Michigan International Speedway, the All-Star Racing League. Find these guys at asracing2k3.net. David Chin, Gary Mingus, all the guys at All-Star Racing League do a great job, as we've said, 7 nights a week of racing. Open setup racing, fixed setup racing, so much great stuff going on there. So check all these guys out. They'll take great care of you here. A lot of new mods, a lot of old school stuff, and so much great racing and racetrack. So can't recommend these guys enough. We've seen a fantastic race here from Michigan here tonight. We've seen our fair share of caution flags, sure, but it's a product of open setup racing in a place like Michigan. You set these cars up a little bit loose to let the tires come in, and sometimes at yellow breeds a little bit more yellow flag here at Todd. But the green flag racing we've seen, it has been spectacular. And I think if we've seen anything of these guys here tonight, I think the best is yet to come.
Yeah, I indeed think the best is yet to come. We're getting ready to go back to green flag racing here momentarily at the Michigan International Speedway. Is the pace van getting ready to pull and make that hard left-hand turn down the pit road once again, but this time atop. Again, Wayne Mediger. And that number 72 is going to restart with the 37, who is one lap down. That's Denny Daniels. The 13 of Harry Codiani is one lap down also. Green flag is in the air. We're back to green flag racing here once again, Phil. We're on lap number 93 of 150.
93 of 150 in the book. Wayne Medinger going to restart, as you said, with the lead. Ken Smith, the 05. Ed Vaughn, the 92. The 9 of Chris Elliott and the Wayne of Ed Hawk. That's going to be your top 5. The field making its way off to turn number 2, but as we've said here all night, Todd, lap traffic playing a role. These guys, those faster cars still up in the fray as they hit turn 3.
Yeah, still up in the fray as they hit turn number 3. These guys still up in front. Here comes the 05 of Ken Smith. He's challenging for the lead. He's going to get around the 72 machine. Now put Ken Smith to the lead, the 72 to the second spot. Now way back. Now in third is Ed Vaughn in that number 92 machine. He's worked his way up there. Phil, the number 9 right there on his rear bumper also. That's Chris Elliott in fourth, and fifth is the number 88 of David Chin.
Yeah, David Chin's rebounded nicely to rebound back to the top 5, but just looking out to our race leaders, that Marlboro machine, the 05 of Ken Smith, facing the fire from the 72 of Wayne Medinger. Wayne's led a lot of this race to the middle going. He may be racing for the lead once again, but as the story has been, much through the middle portion of this race, lap traffic, mainly those cars trying to race their way back to the lead lap. Well, for Denny Daniels, Harry Codian, and Walt Coburn, Todd, those guys were trapped on the tail end of 2 laps down here a little while ago. They raced their way to the tail end now, trying to do all they can to stay on the lead lap. And so far, so good as they hit turn 3.
Yeah, so far so good. Hitting turn number 3. Still the 05 of Ken Smith leading them. He's right there in the tire tracks of Colburn. Now down to the bottom. He dives it deep down air into turns 3 and 4. Off of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. It looks like the 05 machine is going to put himself in between himself and the 07 of Colburn. Here comes the 72 of Medinger. The 72 now battling around the lap car of the 070 machine is Vaughn now coming up into the mix in the 92. He is up to the rear bumper of the number 72 of Wayne Medinger.
Yeah, make that a 3-car run for the race lead. Side by side for position number 2. Down the backstretch as Ed Vaughn brings the 92 up to the high side. Ed in that Vaughn Racing Engines machine. The racing engine behind that, underneath that machine tonight, certainly fast. A power maneuver on the outside move. Ed Vaughn in position number 2, Todd, and he may run down our eventual race leader. We may see the 92 be a player here before too long.
Yeah, Ed Vaughn was back in the middle portion of the pack, now up to that second spot in the number 92. Beautiful fight for that third spot between the number 9 machine, the number 9 of Chris Elliott. He's down on the bottom. Medinger on the top side in that number 72 machine, down in the back straightaway. Who's it going to be down into turn number 3? It's going to be Chris Elliott just briefly here, nosing in front, maybe able to pull up in front of the 72. Slide job maneuver. Is the 72 going to pull a high-low switch? Nope. Going to stay right in line behind the number 9 of Chris Elliott. Put Elliott to third.
Yeah, put that Doritos machine, number 9, Toyota Camry. Chris Elliott moving forward, up now to position number 3. Does he have enough race car left? We've seen him with damage here before, but he's one of those guys, was on the tail end of 2 laps down. He's raced his way back to the lead lap, and now we're going to contend maybe for the race lead as these guys all sorts of out of shape off of turn number 2. Harry Codian got real loose there, Todd. He was one of those cars, contending to stay on the lead lap, and looks like that effort's going to fall by the wayside. As now it looks like the Coburn machine on the outside wall off of turn 4.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough break. He's on the outside machine, the 70-92 machine, now running in that second spot, trying to track down the 05 machine of Ken Smith. Smith right now running in that first spot. Vaughn starting to track him down there in that number 92.
Yeah, Vaughn there in 92. He was the car. I thought it was a Coburn machine, but it was a 92 of Ed Vaughn who made contact with the outside wall down the back stretch. That may have upset the handle a little bit, as that's opened the door for the number 9 of Chris Elliott to the use to the low side. Move the 9 machine up to P2 there, Todd, off of turn 4.
The number 9 machine now into that second spot. Chris Elliott just briefly here as he's battling tooth and nail with the number 92 of Ed Vaughn coming down into turn number 1. Chris Elliott on the bottom side. Maybe he's going to be able to pull a little bit of a slide job maneuver in that number 9. He's going to slide right up in front of Vaughn. Vaughn, high-low switch maneuver down the back straightaway. He goes back down to the bottom side now, pulls back up in line behind the number 9 of Chris Elliott.
Great racing going on for the runner-up spot, but we've eclipsed the century mark. 100 laps up on the scoreboard, 150 the main event distance here. And let's see if we can't do a quick full field rundown for the first time tonight, sponsored by the DRL Network. Ken Smith, the Marlboro machine, the 05 is your current race leader. Chris Elliott, the number 9, Ed Vaughn, the 92, Wayne Medinger, and Bobby Stevenson has rebounded. He is currently in that 5th spot. It's David Chin at his 6th, Todd Wilson is 7th, Connor Metz is 8th, Mike Ireland 9th, Leo Kelly having a great run. He's up in the top 10. Wayne Hawk, the last car on the lead lap, currently 11th. 1 lap down in 12th, we find Harry Codian, Walt Coburn 13th, Alan Alphonse, the number 15. He is currently 14th, the last car, 1 lap down. 2 laps down in 15th, we find the slingshot Gary Mingus. Denny Daniels, a 37 here, Todd. If you can believe it, 7 laps down is that 37. He is currently 16th. He is the last car scored out on the racetrack. Rest of the field behind the wall, the 55 of Terry Bradley, the number 2 of Matt Ebert, Darrell Pace, the 66, Larry Sheldon, the 23. He'll come home 20th position here tonight. Greg Artlett will finish up 21st. Carl Ragucci, 22nd. Audrey Waits, 23rd. Don Bergen, 24th. Alan Ebert, 25th. Don Dolson finished up 26th tonight. And our pole sitter, a long time ago it seems, Devin Bliss of a 28. He's finishing up last on the field here tonight from first to last in the order, 27th position. That is your full field rundown, sponsored by the DRL Network. Find us at drlnetwork.com. The home base for DRTV is racing action here, Todd. Racing hot and heavy down toward turn number 3. Race for the lead is settled, but a great race for it looks like that 4th spot between Stevenson and the 92 of Ed Vaughn.
Yeah, Stevenson down on the bottom side there. He had a little bit of trouble there on that last restart. Got a little bit loose, and that's relegated him back to the back of the pack, and now he's able to get back up to that 4th spot in the 07 machine. Had a good battle going on with Vaughn as he just tail slaps the outside wall there in the number 92 just a little bit. That's going to allow the door wide open for the 07 of Stevenson. Now back down to the bottom side, down the back straightaway here. Not able to pull up alongside of him. But Stevenson trying to battle with him. He's got the preferred group going into 1. Oh, the 92 blocks him. Vaughn blocks him coming down into 3 out of 4. Now Stevenson up to the top side, the top shelf of the Speedway in the 07, almost making contact with the outside wall.
If he didn't make contact with it, Todd, he was awfully close as he, lost all traction there with that side move from the 92 of Ed Vaughn. Those guys racing side by side for position number 3. That red and white machine, Stevenson on the high side, that pink, orange, and white, number 92 of Ed Vaughn to the low side. Looks like Stevenson, with the benefit of that momentum near the wall off of turn 2, Todd, it's going to carry him in position number 3, all chasing our race leader, Ken Smith, off of turn 4.
That 07 is a man on the mission. Is Stevenson now able to pull up almost to the rear bumper of Cody Ann? He's got drafting up from the number 9, who is currently your second place runner. That is Chris Elliott. Elliott in that second spot as we come down into turn number 1, but the 07 making some headway. Stevenson in that 3rd spot. So look for Stevenson to catch Elliott, and I believe he's going to be able to pass Elliott no problem.
Yeah, seeing one car come to the outside. That's the Harry Cody Ann machine. Harry, the first car, 1 lap down to the 11th spot. A power move to the outside of Chris Elliott, the number 9. So Harry maybe 1 lap down here is Todd still, but, racing as hot and heavy as he can. He wants to be that first car 1 lap down in case of a caution flag to maybe catch the lucky dog. And we know Harry's got a fast race car, so if he finds his way back to the lead lap, he's certainly going to be a contender before this thing's out.
Yeah, and also the 07 Stevenson helping him out with Cody Ann, and it's also helping him catch the 05 machine of Ken Smith. We are on lap 107 and 150. It's going to be 108 when we hit the stripe this time by, so we'll have about 42 laps to go here to Michigan International Speedway. Again, you're watching the Bryant Motorsports Auto Sales 300.
Great race for these guys out of the All-Star Racing League here tonight. But a battle of Aussies up front here right now. Ken Smith and Bobby Stevenson, they are 1-2 on the field. Harry Cody in that car 1 lap down. He is right there in that fray as well, trying to battle his way back to contention to find his way to victory lane. Harry still 1 lap down in that 11th spot, but looking back to that race for third, Chris Elliott is there. Ed Vaughn is all over his back bumper and looking just 1 car behind them, Todd. Look at that Todd Wilson machine, that 439. He's rebounded from 2 laps down. He's found his way now back to the top 5, and he's starting to move forward.
Yeah, definitely starting to move forward, but now the 92 of Ed Vaughn battling for that 3rd spot. That's where the number 9 of Chris Elliott. Vaughn down to the bottom side. He's trying to reclaim his 3rd spot. They're side by side down into turn number 1. It's Vaughn on the bottom side, 9 of Chris Elliott on the top side. Give Vaughn the 3rd spot. Elliott backs out of it a little bit. He moves to 4th.
Yeah, it's going to move to 4th, as you said. But I got my eye on the 439 of Todd Wilson. He's just creeped his way a little bit closer and closer into the picture. And from over 3 seconds a few laps ago to under a 1.5 seconds in the top 5. And he is closing there, Todd. He is all over the back bumper, 2 or 3 car lengths back behind Chris Elliott. So Todd Wilson's moving forward, and now a race for the lead as they head toward turn 1.
Yeah, race for the lead there momentarily as it was starting to heat up. The 07 was on the bottom side. That was Stevenson. On the top side was the 05 of Ken Smith. Ken Smith almost looked like he was going to hit the outside wall as high as he was coming out of the corner, but now he's able to pull ahead about 3 car lengths over the 07 of Stevenson. Down the back straightaway again. No charge mounted by the 07 that time.
No charge, as you said. That Ken Smith machine currently very, very strong. Cody in there. Looks like, hard on the brakes there. Looks like the 2 Aussies, Todd, coming to pit road.
Yeah, both of them coming down pit road. Ken Smith and Stevenson to pit road. I believe this will be their final pit stop. It should be right around their final pit stop there, Phil. Maybe going to save some fuel here. You might see them short pit here if it's not their final pit stop. The 07 of Stevenson coming down on pit road. Here they come down onto pit road. And the 07 of Stevenson is coming down on pit road. As now we are right side tires going on the 07 of Stevenson. See if they're going to go around the left side. I believe it's going to be a 4-tire pit stop on that 07 machine. Yep, left side tires going on the 07 of Stevenson. He is down and away.
I was down to the Marlboro Chevrolet camp, the number 05 of Ken Smith. 4 tires and go there. A little bit slow there. Looked like he may have stopped short just a little bit, but the 05 of Ken Smith down and away, but he's lost a lot of ground to that Stevenson machine there, Todd.
Yeah, definitely lost a lot of ground. Did Ken Smith in that 05 machine. Stevenson able to pull away from him here in the 07 machine, but that inherited the lead to the number 9 of Chris Elliott. Elliott now out to the lead in that number 9 machine, but the 439 to the lead now. That is Todd Wilson. From 2 laps down, Todd Wilson to the lead here at the Michigan International Speedway. He's going to lead this time by 113 laps in of 150.
I'm looking down toward pit road. I'm in the 8 camp, the Monster Energy Chevrolet of Wayne Hawk. Looks like it's going to be 4 tires for Wayne. He was up there in the top 10. He pitted out of position number 6, so left side tires going on that number 8 machine. The work is done. The fuel is in. Wayne Hawk going to rejoin the action here, Todd. Pitting out of the top 10, but with so few cars in the lead lap, it certainly, he's going to rebound and get that spot back in no time.
Yeah, going to rebound, and we're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen here, though, Phil. A lot of these guys staying out on the track, different pit strategies, different fuel strategies. Some of these guys were trapped 2 laps down. We're able to come down pit road there a little bit, but it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. Are these guys going to short pit? You guys are saying the pit window's 25 to 30. I think I've seen some of these guys go a little bit longer than 30 if they got some yellow flags. So I was trying to calculate them a little bit longer. Yeah, probably about 35 laps is what I was thinking. Some of these guys were running on fuel. So we're going to have to wait and see what kind of fuel strategy these guys are definitely on. A lot of these guys trying to milk it to the end there, maybe to make it on one more pit stop.
Oh, I think they're going to have to make at least 5 more laps on this full tank if they can do so, and maybe make their last pit stop all night, as we've seen fuel window right around that 30-lap mark here tonight. So we'll have to pay attention to these guys up front, but how about the rebound of our current race leader, the 439 of Todd Wilson, that DeWalt machine from 2 laps down back to the race lead here as we work with less than 35 laps to go. The 439 to the lead, Chris Elliott, the number 9, currently riding in his tire tracks in that 2nd spot. Wayne Medinger's dropped a little bit off the pace there, Todd, the 72. He's back in 3rd, but as we say that, race leader's coming toward pit road.
Yeah, the second guy that was in second place, the number 9, Chris Elliott, coming down pit road. The 439, Todd Wilson. He stays out there on the speedway. He was the race leader, so going to be interesting to see what happens there, Phil. But do you have Chris Elliott down on pit road?
Yeah, we'll get down to the 9 Campa Doritos machine of Chris Elliott, see what the play is going to be. Close call there with another car as he pulled it in his stall, but Chris Elliott is in. Right side tires are up on the number 9. It's going to be a 4-tire stop for the Doritos Toyota. Got to imagine the work on the left side's now up in the air, getting that thing full of fuel. Tires are down, fuel is complete. Chris Elliott's going to rejoin the race, just as Harry Codienne was, Todd. They pitted together. It was 4 tires also in the 13 machine.
The 439 of Todd Wilson now makes his way. He relinquishes the lead. The 439 of Todd Wilson coming down to the 8 of his pit crew. I believe it's going to be 4 tires going to be the call. We're going to have to wait and see. I believe that's what the crew chief said. Todd Wilson, right side tires going on the 439. Let's see if they go around to the left side. Left side tires going on the 439 machine also. 4 tires, 2 tanks of Sunoco Racing Fuel, and he's down and away.
I got the 00 of Mike Ireland, who's having a great run out there in that Hertz rental car Ford. He pits his way out of position number 2. Right side tires in the air for Mike Ireland aboard that number 00. Right sides are done. They swing over to the left sides. The left side work is done. The fuel is all complete. Service is down and away. Mike Ireland going to rejoin the race here, Todd. Also having a great run up in the top 10 this evening.
Yeah, definitely having a great run this evening, and I'm just looking to see if the 439. I'm kind of confused. Scoring and timing reset, but the 439 is the race leader. It's what it's saying is maybe the 00 is running in that second spot. Third is the 92. So we're just waiting for this to recycle, restack, and repack as we're just waiting to see who actually is going to be your current race leader. Let's see at the line. I believe it's the number 92 machine of Ed Vaughn. He's to the lead.
It is the Ed Vaughn machine. Was really puzzled because looking back there, I found the legs of Ken Smith up ahead, but 3.5 seconds the difference between him and our current race leader. A tremendous pit stop for Ed Vaughn in the number 92. He made up probably 3 positions there. The Vaughn Racing Engines machine currently on the fly here tonight, Todd. Put Ed Vaughn to the race lead. Bobby Stevenson, those guys have broken away almost 4 seconds over third place David Chin as they exit turn 4.
Yeah, that's an amazing feat for Ed Vaughn. As I believe he came in that 4th or 5th spot there, Phil, on that green flag run there, and he came out with a lead, and that's a good pit stop for that number 92. I'm just wow, the 92 to the lead with the 07 of Stevenson running in that second spot. Now the 05 of Ken Smith gets around the 439 machine. He's going to put himself into the 3rd spot. So Ken Smith 3.5 seconds behind though this duel up front.
Update from pit road, Todd. Tough break for Wayne Medinger, the number 72. Broke something leaving pit road. That car was underpowered, and Wayne has pulled the 72 behind the wall. So the Dinger's night is all done, but now we race for the lead, Todd, as they hit turn 1.
Yeah, the 07 down on the bottom side. He's going to recapture the lead once again. That's 07 of Bobby Stevenson to the lead. He gets around the Ed Vaughn number 92 machine. Put Vaughn to second, but now it's 3.4 seconds between them, this duel up front, between that and Ken Smith. So Ken Smith and those guys trying to reel in these top 2 guys.
No, it certainly is, and tremendous pit stops there by these two to break away. Ed Vaughn, Bobby Stevenson, those 2 cars have certainly been fast all night long. Ken Smith having those hiccups on pit road, Todd. Looked like he stopped a little bit short in his box, had to gas it up a little bit more, and I believe what you're seeing there is that difference on the racetrack. He lost 3 seconds to his partner, Bobby Stevenson there, and Ken Smith rebound. He's currently 3rd, but he's lost precious seconds of these guys as we're now inside 30 laps to go.
Yeah, as the 07 of Stevenson trying to run away and hide. He's now got about 4 or 5 car lengths over the number 92 of Ed Vaughn as we're coming up to complete lap 122 of 150. 28 laps to go. 28 more circuits. 46 miles around the Michigan International Speedway there, Phil. Who's going to be here? We're going to pick these guys this time, Phil. I'm going to leave it to you first because you never pick first. Who's going to win this race tonight?
Well, hold on a minute. Man down, flag on the play. Hold on, back up 1 second. Did I just hear you with the Common Core education pull out that math equation like it was nothing? I am so proud of you, Todd. The training is paying off. But getting back to our predictions for this race the rest of the night, looking at just the landscape of the race, not to take the easy road here, but I think Bobby Stevenson, the 07, we've seen him fast in the middle sections. He's reasserted his dominance to the race lead. Probably one more pit stop left to make, but if I have to make the gander, the prediction right now, I think Bobby Stevenson's going to make his way to pit road there, Todd. Hoping I don't carry the black cloud here tonight, but I think the 07 is going to be the one that we see here win this race in a little bit.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was going to go with Todd Wilson, but I've had the black cloud a lot. And Todd, I'm going to feel for you. You're about 4.10 back. But and maybe this might be the night I go without this black cloud. It's going to stay green flag the rest of the way. Ed Vaughn's going to have a nail his pit stop again, and he's going to win this race on pit stops.
All right, Rich, we made our prediction for the top two. Who you going to side with, either one of us, or you're going to go on your own limb here? Time for your prediction there, sir.
Yeah, I don't know if Ken Smith's got enough to get him back up there to these two guys. So I think I would be looking at Ed Vaughn as well. He showed a lot of muscle there earlier, just a few laps back. And I see quite a few guys in the chat box yelling for Ed as well. And I think he's going to be the one to beat if he can get around Bobby Stevenson. We'll have to see how it goes.
All right. Well, I'm going to ask the YouTube chat box the same question. Who's your prediction going to be here tonight? I see guys out there in the chat box. Jamie Tedder is chiming in. Todd, you can pick the back. Just tell Phil, go Duke. Well, never mind that, Jamie Tedder, as we know who won the national championship, and it wasn't on my bracket with the Duke Blue Devils. That is for certain. As we return here to racing action, the field in turn number 3, it is Bobby Stevenson, Ed Vaughn. Those two drivers have checked out from the rest of this field. A 4+ second advantage over third place. Now Todd Wilson has worked his way to third. Ken Smith has been drop kicked back to fourth. But as we said, 4.3 seconds last time around, the interval between our top two and our third place current runner there. Ken Smith now back up to that third spot as they're racing side by side for that third spot there, Todd.
Yeah, definitely racing side by side for that third spot, Phil. I'm going to comment. The refs helped just a little bit on that national championship game, but I believe these guys are going to have to pit one more time. Most of these guys out there getting ready to pit here, I believe when they're going to pit is going to be the key determining factor of what these guys are going to do. Are they going to take just fuel only? Are they going to take right side tires, left side tires? Or are they going to take no tires and just drop and go? We're just going to have to wait and see. That could also be the benefactor here, as there's a hot and heavy battle for that third spot once again, as the number 439, as these guys are, there's a battle for the lead too. 439 of Todd Wilson's to third. Todd now to third, and the 439 put the 05 back to fourth, as now they're battling back and forth down the back straightaway. Good battle for that third and fourth spot.
Yeah, those guys for the last 3 or 4 laps have just been, changing that spot back and forth as we've been trying to monitor the progress up front. These guys having a tremendous battle to see who may get on the podium so far as, from here, I think, Todd, with where these guys pitted, it's got to be one more pit stop left here to make. So let's fast forward to what that last pit stop will be. You got to think the window is going to be open in just about a lap or two. So what do you think these guys are going to do? Do you think it's going to be a gas and go for these guys? You think we're going to see tires? Have tires played a big advantage here at Michigan tonight? What do you think it's going to be that last part of pit road?
Yeah, the 97 and the 07, or 92 and the 07 coming down on pit road, just as I thought I was going to get mad. And wow, the 92's coming in pretty hot. But, oh, no, maybe not. As now he came down pit road. It looked like the 07 came down pit road just and braked a little early. But the 92 hit that line. Under 55 miles an hour. Let's see what's going to happen here. Right side tires going on the number 92 of Ed Vaughn. The 07 up there. I'm going to wait for Phil to see what he has a call for. Looks like right side tires on the 92 of Ed Vaughn. Left side tires. 4 tires is the call. That's kind of questioning as I see cars crashing on the front straightaway at the same time.
Contact on the racetrack, but I don't see a yellow flag in the air yet, but also a 4-tire pit stop for Bobby Stevenson in that 07, Todd. So 4 tires, he's full of fuel. That work is done in the way. I am stunned just like you at 4-tire pit stops here.
Yeah, I don't know. 4-tire pit stops. I think I would have made a 2-tire pit stop, as these guys, as I did see a wreck there on the front straightaway, and yellow flag is out there on the field once again here, as these guys did take it down pit road. And I'm wondering if these guys want to lap down, Phil. I think they were in the lead far enough, but I'm not sure, not positive. But I think those two just got trapped a lap down.
Oh, it's going to be wait and see to see where timing and scoring picks up, but I think they may be safe. I believe Ed Vaughn caught caught the start-finish line before the pace car, so he may be okay. Looks like Harry Codian may have worked out, but I'm going to call Ed Vaughn unofficially as timing and scoring picks up. And to update, no, Todd, neither Bobby Stevenson or Ed Vaughn on the lead lap. So developing story here is those guys may have just lost all their track position. We'll update the Ken Smith machine as well. He came on pit road, got a 4-tire pit stop. He rejoined the competition, but he may recycle back to the lead lap here, Todd. So we got timing and scoring reset, but we may have seen the complexion of this race change once again with now less than 20 laps remaining.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait and see what happens, and that's a tough break for those guys. Those guys were actually racing really hard and heavy for that lead, and they were separated quite a ways from those other guys. So just have to wait and see, Phil, is what's going to happen. Those two is laps down. Not good for those two.
No, not good at all. We'll let timing and scoring reset. But we can tell you it is Todd Wilson in that 439. He's going to be officially scored, I should say, as our race leader off of turn number 4. Looks like Ken Smith, Todd, he also got trapped. It looks like maybe one lap down. I'm going to call that unofficial here as they roll down the front stretch. But he was behind the 439, so I believe we can call Ken Smith also one lap down this thing. So not sure who the lucky dog is going to be, but the only thing we know for sure is it's Todd Wilson and Chris Elliott, our top two, but they've all come to pit road. But we'll reset that when they come back out. But let's get to Rich here, I believe, who has our next DRTV replay queued up.
Yeah, guys, we're going to keep the camera focused on the 24 Connor Metz as this plays out. Looks like just above him on the track, the 00 might have got a little bit loose, came down on top of him or something. Once they get through this corner, you'll see this play out a little bit. But there's the looseness. You see the rear end coming around. Next thing you know, he swings it down to the bottom side. 24 in the 00. The 00 is that black and yellow Hertz machine. Once they get back up on the track, it looks like the 24 is going sliding right back up towards the outside wall. He's able to keep it off the wall, so no major damage, just some flat-spotted tires on the Connor machine. But a tough break for these guys, and it couldn't have come at a worse time for a caution with the leaders in the pits. Back to you guys.
Well, the caution certainly fell on a bad time for our leaders there, who now find themselves one lap down to the rest of the field. But, that changes the whole complexion of the race. But you know who benefited the most from that, Todd? Look who found his way after battling for about 100 laps to get his way to the lead lap. The number 13 of Harry Codian, currently in the 7th spot, raced his tail off from 2 laps down. He's back to the lead lap here, Todd, and I don't know, I may want to rescind my pick here now because we know Harry's been fast all leading along here as well.
Well, there's no take me backs on your picks there, Phil. That's not allowed. There's no mulligans here. You made your pick. That's who you got to stick with. Unfortunately, that's what happens, And I don't know. Cody Ann's been fast, like you said, Phil. It's going to be interesting to see how he's going to make. And that goes to show any online racer. You stay in it. You're 2 laps down. I mean, I've had people whisper in my ear, and my teammates whisper, saying, "Hey, you're 2 laps down, but that don't matter. Stay out there. A couple of yellows may follow your way, and you may get back on that lead lap." And that's kind of like what I call the Iron Man Award. And I'm going to give that to Cody Ann tonight, Phil. He's been out there chugging along 2 laps down for many, many laps.
Well, if I had a mulligan to take and, being a proud, national champion North Carolina fan, as I see Jamie Tedder was giving me a little grief in the chat box there, I'm going to do what I want here. I'm going to take the mulligan. I'm going to rescind my pick. I am going to change officially. I think Harry Cody Ann's going to go to pit road there, Todd. So you say I don't get dewbacks, but I just did.
Well, you may have just did, but unfortunately that's against the rules, so you've been disqualified. So we're going to disqualify Phil here with his pick tonight because he cannot rescind his pick. So he's been disqualified here this evening. So unfortunately you can't be a national champion like North Carolina this time.
All right, Rich, I'm coming to you to settle the argument. Can he possibly disqualify me? Are you taking his side of this one as well? Is it gang up on Phil Knight here on DRTV, just as it typically is?
No, we're not racers tonight. That's other nights. You guys are broadcasters tonight. You can't be qualified. That's my final call.
All right, so my pick is official. Take that, Todd. Haha, as we reset the field here on DRTV. Chris Elliott, the number 9, has found his way to the race lead. The 4:39 of Todd Wilson is second. Wayne Hawk, the number 8. Connor Metz having a great run in the 24. Currently in position number 4, and Harry Codian, the number 13, has found his way now to the top 5 in that 5th position. Mike Ireland, a great run for him tonight, currently 6th. Leo Kelly, had not talked a lot about Leo. He's got the 20 up to P7 here currently. 8th, we find Ken Smith. On the tail end of the lead lap there, Todd, is Ken Smith in the 05. Ed Vaughn currently 9th, and David Shin running at the top 5. So it looks like 7 drivers going to be on the lead lap. The Chris Elliott machine, he just came back to pit road, Todd, there for fresh tires. I think that's a great play here. With now 15 laps to go at the time of green flag.
Yeah, definitely a good play for him to come down and see what happens. And Rich may say he has the plug to overrule everything. Yeah, he may, but the fans have the final say of what happens here at DRTV. So we're going to leave it to the fans. Should Phil be disqualified out there in the chat box? I think he should be. And I've seen a lot of people agree with me as we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Just say what you need to say to Phil if you would like to air out your opinions of Phil and see if he needs to be disqualified here tonight. There is 17 laps to go here tonight. We are on lap 1, not even 17 laps to go. Yeah, there is 17 laps to go. We're going to be 16 laps to go here at the stripe of 150. So we're at 133 of 150, be 134 at the stripe. 16 laps to go. Your current race leader is the driver of the number, I'm looking, the 439 machine, and he's going to be about your 7th car in line, somewhere right around in that area. 6th car in line is a 439 machine, so he's your leader, but he's got a lot of cars in front of him, and they are laps down or on the tail end of the lead lap.
Yeah, and he's got a couple of fast rocket ships behind him as well. Wayne Hawk is there, the number 8. Connor Metz, the 24. He's going to restart 3rd. The pace van is in. Green flag is back in the air, as we've seen many a times tonight. The race leader here having to start back in lap traffic. How is that going to play a role to the finish of this race? We're about to find out, Todd. The field is in turn 1.
Now the question is the 439 going to try to put all these guys down the lap as much as he can? Because there's guys in front of him that he does not want to get back on the lead lap. A quick yellow flag. Now you want to put that guy on the lead. Now you want to put that guy a lap down. Those guys are extremely fast, and it looks like we have a wreck on the back straightaway. Cars around. Yellow flag is going to fly and put the 92 back on the lead lap, along with the 07 machine with fresh tires aboard those machines, and they have track position back once again there, Phil. So now the tides have changed once again. That yellow flag is going to reset and restack this field once again.
Yeah, it certainly does. Looking like just multiple cars made contact going down the backstretch. Looked like the 88 of David Shin may have been the car getting out of shape and came off the outside wall and came down just in the path of looks like that might have been the Walt Coburn machine. So multiple cars are going to be tore up. Rich is going to have one spectacular replay to show. But look at the top of the leaderboard there, Todd, as they recycle behind the pace man. Harry Codian from 2 laps down. He's reasserted himself. The dominant car here tonight, the 13 of Harry Codian. He is your current race leader.
Yeah, Harry Codian, your current race leader, and having an amazing run. But those guys up front there that got back on the lead lap, the 07 machine, I believe it was, and the number 92 machine, the 05 of Ken Smith, I should say. The 07 machine, I'm not sure where he is. He's right now currently running in that 7th position. Stevenson did not go a lap down that last time. He got his lead, or lap back, I should say, in that 07 machine. So we're going to have to wait and see also what these guys are going to do, what these field runs are going to do. You got back on the lead lap. Should you stop and take fresh tires? I think so. And the number 92, Ed Vaughn, and he almost thought that he was going to stay out in the speedway, but he almost missed that pit road. But he came down pit road. He's going to get tires, I believe, aboard that 92, and same way with 05 of Ken Smith.
Yeah, and what do you got to lose at this point? You've raced your way back to the lead lap. You're going to be in this thing with, just outside of 10 laps to go when this thing retakes the green flag. I think if you're Ken Smith, you're Ed Vaughn, you're going to restart about 8th or 9th anyway. So why not take fresh tires and see what you got left in that thing and, make this thing exciting. It has certainly been exciting here through these last, 100 laps for us there, Rich Patton. But I believe you may have the most spectacular replay of the night of what to show here so far. So show us what happened there.
Yeah, we're going to try to play this out a little bit. We know at this point in the race, the 439 was the leader. He's got lap down traffic or cars getting ready to go lap down right in front of him or what have you. And we're going to play this out in slow motion. The 439 looks like he's got a hole to go through, but that hole closed up. Not sure if the 88 David Chin seen it back there, but next thing you know, Chin's got a little bit of car on his right rear quarter panel that's not going to let his car go straight anymore. He gets it turned around. Next thing you know, the 070, the 070, whatever you want to call that number as well, both of them stuck in dual solos or dual spinning machines here. The 439 goes high above the 88, low below the 070. Unbelievable movement there. But wow. I mean, right in front of the leader, it looked like it was going to be a lot worse than that. Tough break for David Chin as well. Back to you guys.
All right, so business is certainly about to pick up here at the Michigan International Speedway. The Bryant Motorsports Auto Sales 300 tonight for our friends at the All-Star Racing League. We've done a couple of great shows with these guys, and I know we were talking earlier on. I think we're going to have another one here in the next couple of weeks, so you got to pay attention to all our media outlets. Of course, our website, drlnetwork.com. Also find DRTV on Facebook. Also look for our talk show link, DRL Live on Facebook. The all new, our talk show format, here to the DRL Network, where we talk all things sim racing. Scheduled to be back on the air tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll have to see if we can get that all scheduled back on the air, see if the crew is all available. We've got some great topics of conversation coming up here. So many great races coming on in the next couple of weeks. The big one for me, anytime we talk about going to SMO, we got the 9th annual Race for the Cure, and that is next Saturday night, April the 15th. DRTV makes its long-awaited return to the SMO Hardcore Clan in the 9th annual Race for the Cure, Racing Against Cancer. Donations for the Relay for Life cause. The link for the home base can be found on our website. If you click the drlnetwork.com, the Relay for Life logo in the top left-hand corner of the screen, you can donate to the cause, and beating cancer is a cause worthy for everybody out there. So every little bit goes a long way. Be part of all of our teams out there as we race to beat cancer here next Saturday night, the 9th annual Race for the Cure. Look out for our broadcast link, on YouTube and, through all our social media links. That is going to be a great event next Saturday night. Can't wait to get back there, Todd. And a special thanks to all those guys from SMO. Jamie, Bob, we've seen Brian Wolf in there a little while ago. SMO, as usual, representing tonight, Todd, in that chat box. And we appreciate those guys so much and can't wait to go back and see those guys out on the racetrack Saturday night. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, definitely going to be a good time. I've always circled that on my calendar. That's one of the events I'm proud. I'm proud to be a part of all the events, but that's one of the events that I really heartfelt, losing a father from cancer and different things when I was 16 years old, and he had lymphoma is the type of cancer he had. So it hits close to home with me. It's one of those things that I just circle on the calendar. I love doing the benefit races. I love doing anything involved with that. I'm community involved and try to be community involved with every one of these races, but when it comes to something like that, Phil, it's just I just get the eager to make sure that I push that link and push it and try to get what we can. It'll be great if we could ever find a cure for any of that stuff, Phil. It's just one of those travesties that hits close to home for me. I know it hits close to home for many of these online racers out there.
No, it certainly does. So join us next Saturday night as we race for the cure at the SMO Hardcore Racing League, the 9th annual Race for the Cure next week from the Blue Ridge Speedway. But let's turn our attention back here to Michigan here tonight. Outside of 10 laps to go, lights are out atop the DRTV pace fan as they approach turn number 3. A new race leader's emerged. Harry Codian fought his way back from 2 laps down to make his way back to the race lead here. We're just outside of 20 miles left to go here at Michigan. How about the run for Connor Metz tonight? The number 24 up to that second spot. Wayne Hawk, the number 8, currently third. Chris Elliott, fourth. And hats off to Mike Ireland at 00, Todd. He's rebounded. He's had a consistent night all night long. The 00 up in the top 5 as business is about to pick up. The van has found its way to pit road. That loud pedal, as you say, about ready to fly, and Green Flag Racing is going to be back upon us.
The green silk in the air, loud pedal is down. We're racing once again here at the Michigan International Speedway. And these guys, Harry Codian had a whale of a start here. And that number 13 machine, the number 9 machine, who is now looked like he was making some headway up there. He's in 4th still, but the 24 Connor Metz is running in a 2nd spot. Connor Mertz in the 24, but he is moving there. He is one whale of a run there on Gary Mingus. Can they track down the number 13 of Harry Codian? It's going to have to wait and see. Is the 24 right now running in that 2nd spot. 3rd is the number 9 of Chris Elliott, I believe, in that number 9 machine. The 00 of Ireland is running in that 4th spot.
Yeah, Ireland up to the 4th spot, as you said. Wayne Hawk, the number 8, looks like he got a little bit loose. He's fallen off the wayside. But how about the rebound for Ken Smith? He's worked his way to 5th, and Bobby Stevenson, he's brought the 07 now back to position number 6. So Ken Codian running high. Connor Metz now right in his tire tracks, Todd. 2 car lengths now, maybe a battle, well, not quite a battle for the lead, but the 24 closing the gap as they exit turn number 4.
Yeah, battle for that 4th spot now. Put the 05 of Ken Smith to that 4th spot. He was 1 lap down on that last restart. Ken Smith making headway. He's up to 4th.
Yeah, Ken Smith certainly on the move. He's found his way to the 4th spot. Can he close on, make that a race for 3rd? Chris Elliott got the 9 machine up against a wall in a turn 1. Maybe scared the paint off it just a little bit, but not thinking Ken's going to make the run for him down the backstretch, but looking up toward the lead. Codian is there. Metz is right there, but 24 as well. Chris Elliott, Todd, he got that lap car in between. And look at the run now for that Stevenson machine. He's up to 6, so this race is truly anybody's here. 6 laps to go next time around.
Now Stevenson up to the 5th spot in that 07 machine. Here comes the 05 of Ken Smith, now battling on the high side of Gary Mingus. Mingus a laps down to the field. Here comes the number 05 machine now catching the guys up in front. They were battling for the 2nd spot. The 9 of Chris Elliott to the 2nd spot. Here comes Ken Smith. Look at Ken Smith. One whale of a run. He's up on the rear bumper of the number 24. Down into turn number 3. The 24 drifts up. That's going to leave the door wide open for the 05 of Ken Smith.
Yeah, I'm not sure he lit a Marlboro there. Looks like he lit a firecracker in that 05 as that car has exploded forward as they head down the front stretch toward turn number 1. Move Ken Smith in that 4th spot. He may race along to the outside, make that a side-by-side battle for that 3rd spot there off of 2.
Almost a side-by-side battle there. Now he pedals back into line. We're on lap 144, 150 this time by. We're going to get to 5 laps to go. Signal fistful of 5s. There's 5 laps to go there for your current race leader, Codian, and that battle is starting to heat up. The 9 was peaking low of Chris Elliott. Elliott was there momentarily. Codian blocks his run there. Now Elliott up to the top side of the speedway. Also 05 of Ken Smith. Look at the run he's got going. His yellow flag is out.
Yellow flag on the speedway. That is certainly too bad, as this was race to the finish, was certainly heating up. And, don't want to speculate this one may be over under yellow, but, it looks like we've had a little bit of extra here on the pace lap here tonight. So, we hope to see a 1-lap shootout, and, we'll pray for that for sure. Not sure if we will see it, but stuff happening off of turn number 4 down the back straightaway. Saw multiple cars around up through the grass. Oh, man, tremendous hits there for around the David Shin machine. Also involved there. Looks like it might have been the Mike Ireland machine, the number 00. Multiple cars tore up there off of turn number 4, Todd. Tough break for these guys, and that's certainly too bad because that race for the win, that was certainly heating up there for, all inside of a top 5 for that matter.
Yeah, definitely starting to heat up there, and it was going to be interesting to see because Elliott was right there on his rear bumper, and he was looking down to the low side. Also, the 05 of Ken Smith, he was trying to make a move on the number 24. So these guys were fighting tooth and nail, trying to get to that spot. The 07 of Stevenson now being able to pull up. Hopefully, we see a 1-lap shootout. But I'll throw it down to Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, who has a replay queued up down there in the trailer.
Yeah, guys, looks like we're going to keep the cameras on the number 8 machine. That's Wayne in the 8 and the 439 at Todd. There's going to be some contact. We'll play this out in slow motion. Looks like the 8 might have come down onto the 439. Next thing you know, the 439 is trying to push him down the track. The 00 comes into play. He gets up on 2 wheels, smacks the outside wall while he's up on 2 wheels. Keep in mind, guys, these guys are running about 142 mile an hour when they hit them walls. So tough break for these guys as they start going into the spin cycle. Kind of opposites. You see the 92 flash through there as far as getting through on the infield. He was able to get around everything without causing any damage. But tough break for these guys. We know that 439 was strong. He was running in the lead earlier on tonight. Tough break this late in the race for these guys. Back to you.
No, it certainly is. Tough break for all these guys and everybody coming on and off pit road, trying to repair the damage. Do these guys have anything left here, Todd? Is this race going to restart with a green flag? I'm thinking from here we may see a one-lap shootout. Do you agree with me on that one? I think we're going to see at least one lap here.
Yeah, and we're going to have to, I just don't know. I think it's going to be one lap. I don't think they're going to get any more than that, but that should be enough to give these guys a shot at it. We're just going to have to wait and see. You're going to have to make some evasive maneuvers, and hopefully these guys' gearing is right or wrong, because it looks like, like the 05 or the 07, it seems like their gearing's a little bit different, and it looks like that they can't take off as quick as maybe Cody Ann in that 13 machine, the 9. His gearing seems to be set for a longer run, so we're just going to have to wait and see what's going to happen. If we get one lap to go, it's going to be a barn burner.
I think for sure, for certain, we're going to see a barn burner here. Who's it going to be from here? With less than 5 laps remaining, a couple more laps behind the DRTV pace van. Is it going to be Harry Cody Ann? Is it going to be Chris Elliott? How about the dark horse, Connor Mentz? I'm not sure anybody penciled Connor here, through the entire race to pencil him being contender for the win here so late. Can the 24 steal it? Can Ken Smith, the 05? We know he's been fast all night. He's rebounded nicely. He's up to P4. Or is it going to be Bobby Stevenson? We know he's been quick all evening long as well. He's going to restart in that fast, the 5th spot. And as Todd's reminding in my other ear, Ed Vaughn, the 92, his pick to win this race. He's spurred his way now back up to the 7th spot. So can it be one from that deep, Todd? I think it remains to be seen. I think 7th is a little far to come, but we've seen crazier things happen here on DRTV before. Certainly have.
Oh, I've seen somebody win from the 13th, 14th position, way deep in the field at a super speedway. Michigan is a speedway in its right, but these guys turning laps up like a super speedway, 208 miles an hour plus here with these open setups. So anything can happen in a blink of an eye here at these speedways, or even super speedways for that matter. Even a short track, blink of an eye, you could go from last to first in a matter of a lap. So I'm not going to doubt anybody for winning this race, or count anybody out for that matter.
No, you can't really count anybody out from this juncture of this race for sure. We're going to wait. Hopefully this time around we see the lights go out atop the van. You got to remind myself once again to get back onto the live screen. I want to see, just as it happens, what this update is going to be. So the field off of turn number 4. Now the drama goes to our starter. Does he put the flag out? Are the lights going to go out? Are we going to see 2 laps of racing here at the Michigan International Speedway? What's the answer going to be as the van pulls up to the start-finish line? Do the lights stay on? Oh, Todd, they're going to go out. Lights are out atop the van, so we're going to get a 2-lap shootout. And if this race hasn't been wild enough, it is going to get absolutely nuts here through these last 2 laps.
Oh, business is going to pick up, and business is going to get really nuts, and we're going to have to wait and see who's it going to be. That's going to be the question to be answered. There's a lot of stout drivers left in this field. There's guys that can come from who knows where here in this field to win this race. And Cody Ann is right now sitting in that spot. He's got to be thinking real hot and hard about how he's going to block these guys that are going to be coming at him, because there's a hungry pack of wolves behind him.
Well, I'm going to page Rich down there in the booth right now. I hope you're ready, Rich. I think we're going to be in for one wild finish down there.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I think we've got a lot of heavy hitters up here. A lot of these guys that are up towards the front of this pack right now have all been up front. They're hungry. They want it. They know what it's like to be up there, and they know they're out of time. So I think that all the rules are going out the window, and I think we're probably going to see some crazy finish here. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, the Cars and the Stars of the All-Star Racing League about to settle the score here in Michigan tonight, here live on DRTV. You want to be in a big dog here and be in the big show, you got to be in the spotlight here on DRL Network. DRTV's live flag-to-flag coverage of this event just about to come to its conclusion. A green-white-checkered finish, just the finisher here, Todd. The van finding its way to that left-hand turn down pit road. Can Harry Cody Ann hold off a hungry field? We're about to find out.
Well, we're about to find out. The van down there on pit road. We're waiting on the green flag. We're waiting on that starter. He has a green flag in hand. Green flag's on. Cody Ann, he spins his tires. He is out of shape, and he corrects the number 9 machine. So that's going to be a battle all the way to the start finish line. Cody Ann up on his roof, and he is flipping.
up on his roof, and his chance to win goes up in smoke through turns number 1 and 2. So you got to imagine coming back to the white flag. This is going to be the race for the win off of turn number 2. It is Bobby Stevenson, the 07. Can he win that track race back? You know, my original pick, so if Todd disqualified me, I may be okay here as they hit turn number 3. Here comes Chris Elliott to the top side, racing side by side off of turn number 4. Todd, who's it going to be?
At the 07 down the front straightaway, the number 9 of Chris Elliott there side by side to the start finish line. Looks like he's going to be the 07 of Stevenson taking down the win here in front of the number 9 of Chris Elliott. Elliott going to finish in that second spot. Third should be the number 24 machine. What a turn of events, Phil. Look at that. Cody Ann in that 13 spins the tires and causes carnage there on the restart.
Man, what a wild finish right there. You know, tough break, Harry Cody in. You know, as I think so many of us done so many times, I know I speak of experience, how hard or how easy is it to spin your tires and, you know, just make that mistake with a couple laps remaining on a late race restart. Harry Cody Ann's race goes up in smoke there, taking the green flag. Car ends up on its roof, and after fighting his way back all night long, you know, heartbreak befalls that Harry Cody Ann machine again. But how about the rebound in the run for Bobby Stevenson? Restarted Todd in the 5th position on the restart, played his way through the carnage, and he finds his way tonight at DRTV Victory Lane. Checkered flag going over the field. Bobby Stevenson wins the Bryant Motorsports 300.
Just a little confused as they're wrecking across the start finish line. I believe it was Bobby Stevenson, the 07 machine there. The scoring and timing is going to say something completely different as they were wrecking there. I think Stevenson was getting ready to do his victory donuts, and these guys now having some melee and having some fun here. A long broadcaster race, 150 laps, 300 miles. But I'm going to throw it down to Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, who had what happened there on that last restart. We're going to show you a quick replay of that.
Yeah, most definitely going to keep our eyes on the number 13 of Harry Codain as he runs this out. The green flag is getting ready to start. We'll play this through full speed. We'll slow it down here in just a moment. He spins his tires right about here. Once the green drops, right there, he gets it sideways. He's heading out towards the wall. We'll send it slow motion, bounces it off the wall, tries to save it, bunches the field up. He's still a little bit out of control, tries to lock it up, gets bumped around a little bit. Next thing you know, he's on his roof. He's doing a little bit of roof surfing with a little bit of help there. We're going to try to do a turtle. Couldn't quite pull it off. Here comes the turtle spinning on his roof as normal. He's finally going to try to flip that car back over, not like he's got any control. Does a little bit of a barrel roll, somersault, what have you. Finally ends up on all 4 tires pointing in the wrong direction. Tough break for Harry. As you can see there, he's up in smoke. Probably going to cross the finish line really back far in the field. Not quite sure. We'll get the numbers later as we talk. But unbelievable restart to a fantastic finish. These guys, I knew they would go all out, guys. Back to you.
Oh, they certainly did indeed. So we'll see if we can't catch up with our top 3. Unofficially, we call Bobby Stevenson the winner as he was the first back to the caution of the white flag there. So we'll call him in victory lane. Chris Elliott's going to finish up in that 2nd spot, and looks like Connor Metz, that number 24, Todd, he's going to roll off home 3rd here. So we'll see if we can't catch up with our top 3. I think we've got them screened out, so we'll see if we can't move toward our post-race. We'll pull Connor into the race channel. Connor Metz, it's Phil LeCasse on DRTV, buddy. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir, I do have a copy.
Oh, there he is, a little late to go there. Connor, congratulations on a 3rd place finish, man. You kept your car clean all night long. You had a chance to win that thing late. Tell us about that race, man. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a crazy race coming down to the end. I was involved in a few wrecks, but I mean, just hard work and got up there at 3rd position, and then restart was really crazy. And I was on old tires, so I was just trying to keep my car clean and get a nice finish, and I got.
Well, you got that thing home in the 3rd spot. That's an awesome run by you. But how much did tire wear play in, over the long course of a run here tonight? How much were tires a factor? You said you were on older tires there versus those guys behind you that were on new tires. How much of an advantage did you get having those fresher tires?
It was a pretty good advantage, especially when pit stop cycles were playing out. If someone had old tires, you could just pass them easily. But with the cautions falling how they did, tire wear didn't play a huge role in the race.
Well, Connor, congratulations, bringing the Trump Pence Panasonic machine home in position number 3 tonight. I'm going to give you the microphone one last time. The floor is all yours. Give a shout to all your friends, your fans, your sponsors out there, anybody responsible for getting you on the speed of this evening. I know the chat box here was lighting up for you here earlier, so the floor is all yours. Give a shout to whoever.
Yeah, first of all, I'd just like to thank Gary and the whole ASR team for putting this together. This was an awesome race, and they couldn't have done a better job. It was great. They did a great job. I'd like to thank Mo Perry, my painter. He painted my car, and it's awesome, and glad to bring it home on the podium. I'd like to thank Todd Wilson. He helped me a lot during the race, and I'd like to thank you guys for broadcasting this because you guys did an amazing job. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for the kind words. Connor Metz bringing you home tonight in position number 3 there, Todd. An awesome run by him. Not sure if anybody saw that great run coming, but I'm going to throw it over to you. I believe you're going to catch up with the runner-up finisher tonight, the driver of the number 9, Doritos Toyota. That's Chris Elliott, Todd. So down to you.
Yes, indeed. I've caught up with the driver of the number 9, Chris Elliott. Chris, you gave it everything you had there at the end. You were side by side with Bobby Stevenson there all the way to the bitter end. Stevenson just barely edging you out. It may have looked like you had a little damage there early on in the going where you slapped the wall. That may have been a little bit of a disadvantage for you there. Was it?
Yeah, I did get some damage early on. What a crazy race. It was a lot of fun except for all the cautions, but I'm just happy to be able to finish this thing in the top 3. As you know, I've raced fixed setups 99.9% of the time. This is brand new for me with open sets, but it was a lot of fun for me tonight. Bobby was in the right place at the right time, and he had a quick car too. A lot of quick cars tonight.
Yeah, definitely a star-studded field here. It's All-Star Racing League, and it was shown tonight as you guys had some good, nice green flag runs, and then there would be pit stops where they would be trapped a lap down, and it seems like the yellow flag trapped a lot of those guys a lap down there in the middle portion of that event, and a lot of the guys had to fight back from that lap down. Tell us about your strategy going on through the middle portions of those events when you got them long green flag runs.
Well, real quick, I too got a lap down because of the caution, so I had to struggle from that. But it started from the very beginning. My qualifying lap, I forgot to put the qualifying set in there and used a fixed expert set and qualified 17th, or I would have been up there in the top 3. So that was bad from the get-go. But I was just trying to not wreck, and just go as fast as I could without spinning out a real loose set. But it was quick in the early run. I want to thank a lot of people for helping me out today and yesterday with my setup. So it was a good run.
Well, Chris, I'm going to give you that chance. I'm going to give you the microphone. You can thank whoever you'd like to thank here live on DRTV. Again, congratulations on your second place finish here tonight.
Hey, I appreciate it. Real quickly, I'll thank Gary, Mingus, and Dave on ASR, all the ASR guys over there, and they put on a great show. And you guys, DRTV. I want to say hello to the Frito-Lay people and the Food Line people, all my friends and family, and my son Logan, who's been here watching at the house, and my lovely wife. So thanks for everything, guys. A lot of fun.
Well, again, ladies and gentlemen, that's the driver of the number 9. That's Chris Elliott. He brings home second place here tonight. But I'm going to throw it down to Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, who's caught up with the driver of the 07 machine. That's Bobby Stevenson.
Yeah, guys, I made my way down here to Victory Lane. Bobby, one heck of a race, man. Congratulations on the win. How does it feel?
Thank you very much. Yeah, it feels pretty good. There was a bit of confusion there at the end, but I'm not sure what's going on. Do you know the official, do you? The official standings?
Well, we're basing it off of what we had now. Now, I don't know if there's going to be any changes. I'm not sure what, the race admins are doing. We don't actually do any adminning on there. We just take for what we've gotten. And right now on our boards, we're showing you as the race winner. Now, if that changes, that's going to be up to your league and whatsoever. But right now, we have you as the race winner. So we're going to go ahead and give you the winner's interview. It's all about being in the right spot at the right time, it looks like, Bobby.
Yeah, it looks like when the restart, they took the green there, they all sort of hit the foot, they put the foot down a bit too hard, and they all hit the wall, and I thought, oh, here's my chance, and I just ducked down and hoped for the best, and I suppose I took the win.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, that had to be one of the best moves of the race. That's what happened basically. The 13, your race leader at the time, when the green dropped, he spun his tires, got a little bit sideways. It bunched up the first couple cars, kind of made everybody scatter out. And it looks like you picked the correct lane to go in to get through it all and race back to the caution. So at least that's the way it appears so far. Now, we have to wait on officials to make their judgment. But for right now on DRTV, it looks like we're congratulating you for the win. Hopefully they don't take that from you, but you just never know what's going to happen in these leagues, right?
That's right. Yeah, it was a great race, really. I enjoyed it very much. A few less yellows would have been great, but hey, that's racing. I stopped before the start-finish line because my spotter said, okay, it's over. So I was just pulling up there to do my burnout and have a bit of fun there for the crowd. And they decided to, the pace car said stay behind the pace car after that. So I'm not sure how it'll end. But once again, I enjoyed myself immensely and it was great to have you.
All right, Bobby. Well, we're going to give the floor to you one more time to make an announcement, thank who got you here and whatever. But I do have a question. I'm getting yelled in my ear. What time is it on Australia right now?
Right now, it's 1:57 p.m.
On what day?
I'm not sure.
Is it Monday or Sunday?
No, it's Sunday.
All right, then.
Monday, sorry, here today. Yeah, I'm just a bit taken by all this finish of the race. Yeah, it's Monday here.
That's what I thought. I thought you were going to be out for the day with us. But, yeah, congratulations again. The floor is all yours. Thank who got you here tonight, Bobby.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank Stanley, Ken Smith in the 05 car. He's my setup maker / tutor. And I'd like to thank ASR Racing for having me here. It's been fun. And once again, hope to see you all again. Thanks for having me.
All right, well, there you have it, race fans. Your race winner, at least so far, Bobby Stevenson in that 07, being at the right spot at the right time. Guys, back up in the booth, one heck of a finish.
Yeah, and I think that's the very first time that we've done an interview up here in the booth where the race winner has been in a time zone ahead of us. So that's a first for us here on DRTV. Almost 200 shows into our existence, and a first for us here. So that's certainly really cool. But what an awesome race for these guys here tonight here, Todd. What an awesome time. Hats off to Gary, David, all the crew at ASR. Always do a great job. Take good care of us anytime we come over. And I hope we come back again. These guys do a lot of great racing, and it's a lot of fun anytime we catch up with any of these guys. Awesome time.
Yeah, I had a fun time here at All-Star Racing. It was plagued by some yellows here early in the event, but again, they proved us like they get everything straightened out, and Green Flag Racing, and they had everything that lived to its billing there tonight, Phil. So, good. Congratulations to All-Star Racing. Congratulations to Bobby Stevens, all those guys that finished inside the top three, guys that stayed in that race and chugged it along. Chris Elliott, all those guys out there on the speedway. So, again, congratulations. I'm going to go get myself a bowl of Lucky Charms and sit down and eat.
All right. Well, that certainly sounds good as well. So, we'll wrap up here, but want to thank everybody out there in YouTube land that joined us here this evening. A special thanks to all the guys at the All-Star Racing League for having us here tonight. And, we'll be back on the airwaves as far as live race broadcast goes next Saturday night. The return trip, the SMO Hardcore 9th Annual Racing for the Cure at the Blue Ridge Speedway. So look out in YouTube land for our link there on the DRTV page, our social media outlets as well on Facebook, and also at our home base, drlnetwork.com. So we're going to pause here. Back on the air live, we are on the DRL Network. An all-new edition of DRL Live, our talk show format where we discuss all things sim racing. Back on the air Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So for Todd and for Rich, my name's Phil Lacasse. I'd like to thank you out there tonight, for everybody for watching this latest installment of DRTV live on the DRL Network, the best in sim race television. Good night.